All right, here we go. The interview that nobody thought was going to happen. NLE Choppa.
I'm here.
Welcome to Vlad TV.
Thank you for having me. I'm in the seat.
Yep, we're actually here in person right now.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? I'm right here in the room with you, man to man, just like how we talked about.
For sure.
And the thing is, I just think it's important. You know, the reason why I felt we should do this interview is that two men could disagree about something online and then actually talk it out like adults. And even though we may not agree, we could actually agree to disagree and show each other respect.
Yeah, as you should.
And talk about, you know what I'm saying, our various viewpoints.
Yeah.
And show everyone that even though there's an age difference between us, we still respect one another.
Yeah, and can
And
still
neither one of
relate
us
to
is-
certain things, for sure.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you don't have to be like, oh, this old ass motherfucker, you know, is out of touch. And I don't be like, oh, this young ass motherfucker don't know nothing. It's the fact that we're both two successful men and we're both intelligent and we could actually talk things out. Well, before we get into everything else, I want to talk about how me and you kind of went back and forth. You know what I'm saying? And really kind of talk about it and get it all out in the open.
For sure.
Originally, look, I was actually a fan of what you were doing. You know, when Choppa Flow came out, I'm like, oh, this is dope.
Yeah.
You know, it sounded different. But really what got me was that skit.
Which,
You know,
with me and my mom?
no. The one where you were performing for Birdman.
Yeah.
And then like this comedian did like
I remember.
you know,
that
like
shit.
every teenager
Yeah,
was like, I was
remember.
trying to one trip that hoe. You know, my mom was like, you gotta clean your room, and you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That shit was hilarious. I must have watched that like 200 times.
And I've been a fan too. I've been watching your interviews since before I blew up. So, you know what I'm saying? Same here. You had a lot of people come here. So, same respect, you know what I mean?
Word. Okay, so let's just talk about how our whole back and forth started. Well, the first time I actually heard you mention my name was back in July of 2020, where you went on Twitter and said DJ Vlad is the police. And then I think Polo G like backed you up on that.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's controversial when you say that Vlad is a police, because at the same time, I feel like people that sit here got the opportunity to not answer certain questions or to not speak on certain things or just to go into context or detail about certain things. Some of the questions you do ask, I say like, okay, there's kind of some police questions, but I feel like what makes it police is what completes the sentence is how the person responds to your question. So you know what I'm saying? Most people, like, you will ask a question, and I've seen a lot of interviews, I ain't gonna say no names, but a lot of people will brush it off and, you know, they'll be good, but I see somebody that go through with it, get in detail about this and get in detail about that, and a few months later they got a RICO or something. You know what I mean? So,
Well, we've never interviewed anybody where they talked about something that was actually used in any of their cases.
yeah. I mean, not saying like you, like it's a purposeful thing, but I just know, like, I know from experience with me going through legal troubles before, and my family and my brothers and all that stuff, they gonna use whatever.
Yeah.
They gonna use the slightest bit of anything. It can be it can be a simple video of you just talking and somebody just record. You know, they gonna use anything to play it against you in the court of law. So that's why I was saying, I wasn't really just saying like, oh, Vlad, he really undercover FBI and just trying to set people up. That wasn't what I was saying. It's just really like, it was really a joke, you know?
Yeah, it's all good. And I took it as that. You know, I didn't respond to it. In fact, me and Polo G actually ran into each other at a Bank of America, you know, here in Calabasas, and we went outside and we had a conversation. You know, he kind of told me his point of view, and I respected it. I told my point of view, and you know, we both respected it, because I'd interviewed him before as well. But whatever, that came and went. But then what started to happen?
See how you got the tabs? You got the tabs. That's like the. I'm joking with you, but you got it though. I remember. I knew you was gonna break up the first time.
Right. Okay. So then what happened with the whole back and forth thing was, well, Justin Bieber has a serious medical condition.
Yeah, serious, extremely
Very serious, where half his face is paralyzed. You went on, I believe, Twitter, and you said, hey, someone from the label should contact me because I want to help him.
Yeah.
Right?
And only reason why I sent the tweets because I don't run my Instagram. So like it's hard to get in touch with people. I like to keep a lot of things off the internet. I couldn't DM them on Twitter because we don't follow each other.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, we reported on you saying that. I looked through the article. There wasn't anything really negative about you. It was like, oh, NLE Choppa offers to help Justin Bieber. And then that's when you started on me.
Yeah.
You were like, stop posting me. Then you called me a chump and, and so forth. And then I started responding. I called you a snake oil salesman, and there was some back and forth, and it hit all the blogs.
What is a snake oil salesman?
It's an old school term, right? It's these dudes that go town to town. It's almost like a witch doctor or something.
Yeah, okay.
Like these dudes that go town to town, and they sell these like bottles of miracle cure, and and a lot of times it wouldn't be real. It'd be like snake oil.
Yeah, okay.
So they started being called snake oil salesmen.
Okay.
Yeah, it was nothing specific towards you. It's just an old school term from like, I don't know, the 50s or some shit. Before my time.
It's okay.
Right? But then people picked up on that, and then all the blogs picked it up. Yeah. And, things settled down, and we went back to our lives. Yeah. So then what happened was one of the guys that helps me book interviews was like, hey, this dude wants to pay, you to interview him on Vlad TV, which I don't do. Like, I don't take payments at all. And I looked up who he was, and he was this guy who claimed that he cured his mom of cancer, and all the comments were turned off, and he was selling some $125 bottle that's supposed to cure shit. And based on that, I went on Twitter, and I'm like, yo, this snake oil salesman tried to pay me to get to get an interview with me. This is how these dudes operate. I wasn't actually talking about you. Yeah, to be dead honest, right? But since I used the word snake oil salesman, people probably start tagging you.
I feel like you knew what you was doing. I feel like in a bit of a sense, like as you was tweeting that, you was probably thinking like, they may think I'm talking about NLE. Like in a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
But at the same time, I wasn't gonna respond until I like be active on my Twitter, because it's like really the only apps where I can really be more so engaged with my fans. And I seen them mention me in it, and I was like, you know what, brother, it's Cal. And like, I just hate when people lie on my name, and that's how I felt it was. Yeah. Even though you wasn't talking about me, but I didn't know that until I responded. But I just wanted to clear the air. I could have cleared the air better. Instead of, I
mean, look, I never claimed that you were trying to pay to get an interview. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, in fact, the reason why this is even happening is because we have a mutual friend with DJ Academics.
Yeah, he put us in contact.
Yeah, me and him were talking after the whole back and forth, and he was like, man, y'all should really do an interview together. And I'm like, I'm with it.
Would be dope, yeah.
And then, he put us on three-way, and then you called me. You were in Europe at the time. And we had like a long conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
And it was like, mutually respectful.
Yeah, always. Because one thing about me, man, if I'm ever seen going back and forth on the internet, I'm not taking it serious. All my business that I take serious will never hit the internet. Whether it's if I really got a problem with you or got a problem with a person, it'll never hit the internet. I feel like the internet and real life is two different things, and I think this generation don't really know it, and that's why a lot of people end up in trouble. People think like, oh, he's a goofball, he's this or that, but they really don't know me, because in a sense, certain things I know that don't supposed to hit the air, and certain things I do know. Me and you going back and forth is entertainment to me. Me going back and forth with another rapper or something, that's entertainment. Is it serious in my life? Do I ever feel threatened? Do I ever feel like I got to do something to somebody? No, until it gets to that point. So like, it was all fun. It wasn't never like I disliked you or it was a disrespect thing. Shit, hell, I see your interviews even throughout the time period when we was somewhat going back and forth. I was still watching your interviews. So if I was a straight hater, I'd be like, man, fuck it, I don't want to see nothing, But like, it's just fun with me,
Yeah. And at one point you were like, I can't wait to see you, big hugs. And I'm like,
and I gave you a hug.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we saw each other, right?
I'm for real, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it might sound like I'm finna do something else, but nah, bro, like, I don't put stuff like that on the internet.
Right.
I love my freedom. I got a daughter. I stand on priorities and morals and boundaries. Like, you won't never see me, what I look like. How old are you, Vlad? No.
I'm 49.
You 49?
I'm more than twice your age.
What I look like trying to fight a 49-year-old man. And like, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like it's out of place, and it's to a sense of like it's not right. So like it's no reason for it. It's uncalled for, and I feel like if people had the same mindset, they wouldn't be in trouble as much as they would be in. So like I said, I was gonna give you a big hug. I wanted to sound like it was a threat, but really I wanted a hug.
And my response was, you don't have to wait to see me. You can come see me face to face right here. And here we are, face to face. Well, I gave it some thought, right? Because me and you had a conversation about some of the stuff that you feel strongly medical-wise and other things that I feel strongly medical-wise. And when I started to think about it, what I realized is that I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
Right? So who am I to argue with you when I don't have any medical training at all? But we do have a doctor that actually does come to Vlad TV, Dr. Khan. He's a medical doctor. He works in Las Vegas. He was one of the original doctors that was treating all the COVID patients and everything else like that. And I had a conversation with him and I said, hey, can you give some of your input on some of the things that me and Choppa were going back and forth? Yeah. And he made a short video where he addressed it. Do you mind if I play it for you?
Yeah, that's cool.
Like, I feel like nowadays, like, you know, in the hip hop community and just all over the place, people, they really want to put their foot into the medical world. And I think that's a great thing. Like with NLE Choppa talking about how herbal medications like mugwort are, you know, advantageous in curing and preventing illnesses like cancer and what Justin Bieber has, Ramsay Hunt syndrome. And you know what? To be honest with you, Vlad, I respect that. I respect somebody trying to spread a positive message to the people about things they can do to benefit themselves. Just like we talked about with Dr. Sebi. You know, we talked about how, you know, it's not just about treating with pharmacologic medications, but, you know, you have, you know, herbal medications and antioxidants, things that can boost your immune system. We talked about those as well. And me personally, as a physician, I advocate for that on top of medications that I prescribe. But we also have to come to the seriousness of the situation and what we're talking about. When we're talking about cancer itself, now that's a scary term. You know, it's very scary, and a lot of people, you know, consider cancer to be something related to a death sentence by itself. But we need to break down what cancer actually is. Cancer is the irregular growth of cells that occurs in the body. And cancer comes in various stages. You know, you have the early stage 1 where, you know, the growth of the cells is localized only in one area of the body. But then as the cancer becomes worse and worse and starts spreading and metastasizing, cancer can spread to different organs in your body. So, you know, based on that, the oncologists that I work with in the hospital, you know, we treat patients accordingly with radiation, where we can focalize in one area and try to attack those irregularly growing cells, or chemotherapy, which is more broad spectrum in patients that are more stage 3, stage 4. So you got to understand, in this type of situation, there's no magic cure to helping these patients. I wish there was. I wish there was a medication that could target the cancer specifically and get rid of it, but unfortunately there isn't. And I still advocate for people to do things to help with their immune systems, to take herbal medications. You know, it's not just mugwort, but we got garlic, onion, beta carotene, flaxseed, you know, things that people can do in addition to being treated by medications by their physician. So I just, you know, I don't like giving people false hope or a sense of false hope that there's going to be this magic cure for their cancer, or in Justin Bieber's condition for his Ramsay Hunt. Ramsay Hunt is a viral infection that has occurred to the nerves that has caused the paralysis in his face. But just to say that mugwort is going to cure him of that, I mean, he can try it, but it's not going to be the end-all cure. And you're hearing it from Dr. Khan. So ultimately, Vlad, salute and respect to everybody out there that, you know, is an advocate for medical therapy, but don't make far-fetched claims. That's all I'm trying to say.
And wait, shout out to him. He was very understanding. And
he was very respectful towards your position as well. This was not, you know, we're not bashing you in any respect. You were saying that you actually have some very good points.
Yeah, respectful. He's very understanding. But I look at it like this. Okay, so let's just say with Justin Bieber, first and foremost, I never said like just mugwort or help with what he doing. I feel like every disease starts with the gut anyway. So first you have to detox the gut, like something like fasting, you know what I'm saying, cleanse the body. Then you will go to herbs that heal the nerves. It's a nerve type of disease. It like shuts down the nerves. That's what makes the face paralyzed on one side. So what herbs deal with nerves? You got herbs like blue vervain and mugwort. If you make certain blends while a person is either on a fast or on a strict type of diet, it's possible. It's extremely possible. You can even rub type oils. You can make oils out of these blends, rub it on the face, and they'll help the nerves. That's all I was trying to do. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, I just cure people with these magical herbs and like, oh, I'm gonna give you mugwort and you just gonna heal from cancer, because that's impossible. Like I told you on the phone, like that's not how it works. First and foremost, I can't heal anyone. I can't come to you and say, you got cancer, I can heal your cancer with this. First and foremost, it all starts within the person, within self and God and faith. You know what I'm saying? So it's never me. I can only bring someone to the water with what God presented us here. You know what I'm saying? It grows naturally. All of these things have their benefits. You can look them up. Use the right way. If you use them the right way over a period of time, it's never a quick fix. Everything is a journey when it gets that serious. It's a journey. If you use it the right way, you will see benefits, you will see results. You will go back a few months later, a few years later or whatnot, and things can disappear. It can. But I'm not saying like, oh, I'm gonna give you this in a jar, just drink it every day and you will be good. That's not how it works. You have to do things like you gotta work out, you gotta drink lots of amounts of water, you gotta do a lot of breathing, because oxygen naturally kills cells within self. So you got cells just growing rapidly in the body. You can kill cells with just simple breathing. Oxygen kills cells. Cells, you know what I mean? You release carbon dioxide. That's the toxin. That's when you inhale, that's the oxygen. When you exhale, you're releasing the toxins, carbon dioxide. That's what are held within these cells. And another thing on top of that is sugar. Cells like they like to feast on sugars. So boom, if I'm eating things with the nature of starch, like bread, pastas, potatoes, stuff like that, cells also feast off those type of foods, sugars, all that stuff. They grow and they expand rapidly. Like honestly, I haven't got too deep until like the cancers and stuff, but I know what you can do to get rid of it for sure. I can tell you advice and people can go on about it themselves and move on it. Anybody you can ask them, like you can ask him about this stuff I'm about to say, he'll let you know, he know what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like I like to start with STDs, because I feel like that's one of the most common things, from a simple gonorrhea to chlamydia to HIV to herpes and things like that nature. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like it's deep. I could talk about it forever, because it's like a real passion for it. But the only reason why I felt some type of way, which I told you, but I gotta let the fans know, I felt as if like when you love and you take passion in something that you really want to do, and you know your purpose is here to help and heal, you know what I mean? Of course, when someone say something about what you're trying to do to help someone, it didn't hurt my feelings, but it just rubbed me the wrong way, because I'm like, look, man, you got people that laugh at this man. Like, you got people that see Justin Bieber, this side of his face working and the other side not working. They'll clown him and laugh at him and crack jokes, which I've seen a few just scrolling. And then you got little old me over here. I'm like, hey, I want to help. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just like, oh, let me clown him for trying to help, or let me bring him down for trying to help, or let me not give him a chance, or let me hear him out about what he gonna do. I feel like that's when it hits different, because I come from a community where people we don't help. You know what I'm saying? We see somebody getting up and we trying to knock them down. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like coming from where I'm come from, and for me to be able to want to reach out and be able to help people for the simplest, smallest things is just a beauty to me. You know what I mean? No matter who you is, black or white, Asian, whatever, like niggas just be wanting to help. And that's where it hit me at. And I was like, damn, what I should have did, you know, how I could have went about it. But that's where it goes back to. But I was saying, like, it'd be the same sense of like, if I'm telling you, like, let's just say you're an interviewer, you love to interview people, and I don't know shit about interviewing, and I'm looking at these cameras, I'm like, that's a Sony camera? You ain't got a red camera? Oh, you don't know what you doing. Like, you supposed to have a red camera, $100,000 camera with this lens. Like, you know what I mean? It'll be naive. Like, what the fuck do I know about cameras? Or what the fuck would I know about an interview camera? What would I know about this whole setup? You got the mic up here and the mic on me. I would have, you know?
Yeah. But, I mean, that's why I had to check myself and say, let me go talk to a real doctor. You see what I'm saying? Because I realized that I was talking out my ass as well.
And at the same time, I feel like you don't have to go to school to just be a doctor. It's all about basic research. I do research. You know what I'm saying? I do the same thing what a doctor would do if they're going to college, if they're going to Harvard, if they're going here. My cousins are doctors. They've been in school 10 years. You know what I'm saying? I respect doctors, but at the same time, but like, I just hate when people try to hinder my research as well, because at the same time, I got people that hit my phone daily. I can show you text messages right now. I got plenty of people that are calling. I can call around, just like how he got a video. I can call people right now. If you want me to, I can call them right now, and they'll let you know how I've helped with certain things. From Bart's disease, I never even knew what Bart's disease was, but I helped someone just by opening my mouth and giving them a product to use in the diet they was already using. Help with Bart's disease with their son. I helped somebody with cancer just by giving them a product and helping them with the things they was already doing, and they helped themselves heal themselves. You know what I'm saying? And chlamydia and gonorrhea, that's easy. That's like clockwork. You know what I'm saying? It only takes a week. You know, so
look, I think you have good intentions for what you do. I never said that you don't. You know, my thing was that when you said I cured cancer, I was like, well, in order to say you cured something.
Wait, I said I helped someone.
Okay, so
I never said like,
okay,
bro, I'd be lying if I say I got patients at my house and I'm just treating them. I don't have the time for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Only thing I can do is be a messenger and provide you with something that I bless with my energy. You know what I'm saying? Because energy is the ingredient within itself. You know what I'm saying? You don't want nobody with bad intentions giving you something good. It ain't gonna work right. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like putting water and oil in a cup. It ain't gonna mix right. As long as you have good intentions, you pray over these things, you talk to them, and you give it to people with the right intentions, and they use it, and they hear you out consistently with the things that they do within themselves every day, you can help someone. You can help save a life.
Yeah, and to be honest, you know, in the same way that Dr. Khan said that there's more to medicine than just prescribing certain pills.
It's way more.
Listen, I went through health problems myself when I was in my 20s, when I lost like 40 pounds. And I thought I had some sort of serious stomach conditions, and the doctors couldn't find nothing. And at the end of the day, after a few years, I realized it was actually all in my head. It was a psychological problem. Because I have OCD. And once I figured that out, all my weight came back and I got healthy again. And I never had a physical problem. It was all in my head. So I understand the placebo effect and how your mind could make you sick. Yeah. And your mind can make you healthy.
The mind is extremely powerful. Only thing you got to do is give it the right things to feed it. You know what I'm saying? Drink your water. Eat your fruits, vegetables, implement herbs, and all of that stuff. Everybody don't know. What people don't know is you really got 3 brains. You got a brain up here. You got a brain in your digestive system, and you got a brain in your heart. These things functions. They all function without you having to think about it. You don't have to say brain think for me, or you don't have to say stomach digest food for me. You know what I'm saying? Your stomach is made up of a fourth. 1/4 of your stomach is used for your immune system, which kills the bad cells, which detox the whole body. It's 1/4 of the immune system. If you don't get that immune system a break, your whole stomach, you won't be healthy. You know what I'm saying?
Well, speaking about stomachs, you mentioned that you have 5 to 7 bowel movements a day.
Yeah, I'm vegan.
I mean, do we got to stop the interview for you to go to the bathroom right now? Or, you know, I don't know what your last bowel movement was. I don't want to have an accident here in the middle of the interview. But.
Like, I feel I kind of exaggerated it. What was I doing that week? Oh, I was on an alkaline diet. So I was on an alkaline diet, so it's different. Like, people can look it up, but it's not like regular fruits and vegetables. It's only vegetables and fruits with a certain pH, and you only make meals out of the vegetables and the fruits. And I can show you things I cook. You'll be like, bro, there's no fucking way you made that. Like, I make vegan chicken and waffles out of mushrooms and stuff.
I went through a vegan stage in my life. So, you know, I just ate vegetarian. I feel, and you do go to the bathroom. Yeah, when you don't eat meat at all, your bowel movements are a lot better and more often, but just not 7 a day. If you have 7 a day, that means your body's trying to get rid of whatever you just put in there as quickly as possible.
And I feel like a lot of people feel like that's not right, but that's how the stomach is really supposed to move. I wouldn't say 5 to 7. I feel like I was probably exaggerating, but
that's all I'm saying.
It was really 3 to 4, like 3 to 4, or damn near 4 to 5 some days. You know what I'm saying? if you're not having consistent bowel movement, it's a problem. It's something
Well, yeah.
wrong.
I mean, you're
with it.
supposed to
know
have
some
one
people
after
that
every
don't shit.
meal. So if you say 3 or 4, I could sort of see that.
Yeah.
But when you get into the 7s, that's when I'm like, this is kind of crazy.
But you got to look at it. If you've been in all your life, when I'm 19, I've been vegan 2 years. So 17 years of my life, I was eating meat, no homo, and dairy, and so like. You got to think about it. Like certain food, like McDonald's, for example, that food don't even break down. So over the years,
like McDonald's fries, you can sit there forever and they'll still look like fries a year later.
It doesn't break down. So what do you think that the stomach does? Well, how do you think the stomach can break down these foods? How do you think? So like it's just certain foods that can really live in you within yourself for years. And it took me to have I did a raw alkaline diet. A raw alkaline diet. This is no cooked foods. It's just fruits and like salads and stuff. And bro, I shitted so much, bro. It was just like, and I wasn't eating nothing. So I'm like, bro, it can't be what I just ate. I was like, this got to be something from way back when. You know what I mean? Like it was detoxing because I switched. I went vegan, but I never detoxed my body with the switch. You know what I mean? I just went vegan. So it was still things within me.
Well, look, man, at the end of the day, I respect your point of view, and I have a different point of view.
Yeah, for sure.
And we both respect each other, and I think it's cool that we could sit down and talk about it. And whoever's watching this, some people might, side more with your philosophy. Some people might side with mine. And ultimately, the way Dr. Khan said, there's a good combination between the two that actually work.
It's like half and half. You know what I mean? Like I'm the type dude. I'm all for herbal medicine unto certain things. Like. God forbid, but if something happened to where I don't even like to say things like that, but God forbid, if I've been hurt, I've been injured by something that could have killed me, I'm not about to say, oh, let me drink a herb so this wound will go away. I'm going to take my ass to the doctor and get this shit out of me, have this surgery to remove these things that's living within me. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to say shit, but you know what I'm saying? But a bullet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So things of that nature, or if my fucking, you know what I mean, my legs, it's just certain things you go to the doctor for,
There you have it, man. There you have it. Well, this is your first time here, so I actually want to get into your story as well, because you've accomplished a lot in a very short period of time. So you were born and raised in Memphis?
Memphis, Tennessee.
Parkway Village?
East Memphis. Cottonwood.
Okay.
In that area, though.
And you have a African-American father and a Jamaican mother?
Kingston, Jamaica.
Oh, so she's from, like immigrant from Jamaica?
She was born in Kingston. My grandma was an immigrant, but she was born in Kingston. She didn't live, but she spent a lot of years out there to the point to where she can put the accent on you and everything. But yeah.
Okay. So growing up in Memphis, what was it like?
It was just tough, you know what I'm saying? It's a city full of hatred which I feel like a lot of rappers said, but I feel like Memphis is different. You speak to any artist, it's just one of the most gruesome, unloving cities to be a part of. But I love it so much because I see the potential in it. I just feel like nobody it's not a if you would come there, you would be like, you will understand why people don't love, you know what I'm saying? You'll understand why people don't trust, or you'll understand why people are so negatively fueled. And you know what I'm saying? It's just a simple fact that there ain't shit out there to do. But, you know what I mean? There ain't nothing out there to do but to be in those type ways.
Yeah, I mean, I remember DJ Paul, one of our interviews, said that Memphis has a dark energy.
It's extremely dark.
So you agree?
Yeah, it's extremely dark, but I don't want to just shame Memphis because at the same time it has its beauties, you know what I mean? I still live in Memphis currently. And I enjoy being in the city because it helps me collect my thoughts and it helps me stay in tune with my surroundings and the reality of where I came from. And I feel like a lot of people, they say, oh, I'm gonna get this money and I'm gonna turn my back on the city. I ain't never coming back. Well, how is you gonna change your city? You know what I'm saying? How would it change if you're not pouring the good into it? So like I love to stay around the city to sit there and be like, I know the path I'm on, so what is needed for me to get people on the same path? Like, say, for instance, it's not a lot of vegan food options out there. So when I go there, I don't eat the food like I really like to eat.
It's a barbecue city, pretty much. It's all meat.
You know what I mean?
Ribs and...
So, like, you just in the house, you like, damn, what I'm gonna eat? And that goes back to, like, I might preach this, oh, veganism helped me, this helped me. Well, there's people in Memphis, where the fuck I get vegan food at if I can't even ask Siri where's the nearest destination to vegan food? So boom, that's why I come in and I'm like, okay, I want to implement a vegan restaurant here. I got a vegan food truck. I'm working on getting a restaurant.
Dope.
Or I say something about herbs. How I supposed to get herbs? Where I supposed to get this from? Is nowhere in Memphis. Oh, Dr. Sebi niece, she has a whole place in South Memphis where she sell herbs that nobody knew. I made a whole video about it. And also you can go online, NLE Health and Wellness, to get herbs. Boom. Oh, it's not enough fun here. So like I'm thinking of little things and I'm looking at the kids. The kids, man, we start toting guns in Memphis at around like 10. I had my first gun at like 13, 12. So like, what are ways I can help the kids to benefit them? I started like a reading challenge in a lot of the schools to where I challenge kids to read like 200,000 words. And a lot of kids in the heart of the hood, them kids going to school, they going to school reading the books, they walk into the bathroom reading their books. Some kids exceeding the 200K goal, getting 1 million words, like things like that. I like to pour those type of good things into the city.
I love it, man. Okay. Well, you mentioned that, at 13, you started carrying a gun. And I remember at one of your interviews, you said that you actually were in a juvenile detention center at some point. How old were you?
I was 15, 16 when I...
Okay. Well, what did you get busted for?
It was like a gun possession on school campus. I used to be young and dumb, man. I used to take like threats. I wasn't even going to the school. It wasn't the school I was going to, but I used to take threats. I didn't used to take them lightly, so I used to always feel like I always felt like I had a point to prove always, because I've been light-skinned my whole life. So like, I always wanted the motherfucker to feel me, like, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing to hold about me. I might laugh, I might joke, play a smile here and there, but I can get serious on timing. And ended up pulling up at the school, and the police seen me hop out the car with my gun, and right there, he flapped me off rip. I'm kind of glad he did, because, you know what I'm saying, you never know what could have happened, what could have played, what could have went down. Oh, yeah. He caught me. He saw me. I tossed that bitch right back in the car, and I act like, hey, I'm like, what you talking about? He like, I just seen you. And I remember I had some fresh new Air Force Ones, and the only reason why I ain't run from them, because I had some Air Force Ones, and I didn't want to crease my shoes. It was the dumbest shit I've ever done, because I could have ran, I could have got away. But I said, man, I didn't want to crease my forces. I'm going to try to talk my way out of it.
That's crazy.
My ass went to jail. I'm like, I don't know why. And I'm thinking like, I'm going to bun out. But juveniles don't get bun. It was my first charge, so I ain't know.
Okay. How much time did you get?
I was in there for about a few weeks, and then I made a call to Arthur Horn. He was like one of the best lawyers in Memphis. And they kept pushing, they kept setting me off. They was trying to make like an example out of me. Cause when you in Memphis, you gotta, in juvenile, when you get processed in, you got like a DAT score. They call it the DAT score. So if it goes over a 21, you gotta stay and you can't go home. So you don't get a bond, you get like a level of what your charge is. And it was my first charge, and I only had one of them, and it was just a gun charge on school campus. It was a felony charge, but I supposed to went home, but they was making an example out of me. They kept me in there, got in front of the judge. She said, you a rapper, you rap about this, you rap about these guns and all this, you a threat to the community. Threw the gavel down and told me detain. I'm like, what the fuck? Huh. And so I had to go back. And I was thinking I was going home that day, because when you go to jail on a Friday, you can't see the judge till a Monday. And that Monday, I'm like, oh, I'm going home because this ain't nothing. I had to stay longer.
Okay. So you're already rapping by that point?
I was rapping.
Okay, you're already putting out material?
Mm-hmm. I had songs like No Chorus Part, was it 3, which shot a fam out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're already kind of bubbling at that point.
Had a little pop, little buzz for sure.
Okay, and your first name wasn't NLE Choppa.
YNR Choppa.
YNR Choppa, exactly. So first of all, before we get into the other part, the Choppa part, something to do with the whole Jamaican?
No, it was just a nickname like my friends gave me, for sure. Around like the hood where I was from.
Is the Top Shotta part, is that from the Jamaican?
Top Shotta for sure from Jamaica. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I actually interviewed Kamani Marley.
Oh, for real?
Who starred in Shottas.
That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Great movie, by the way. Whoever hasn't seen it, you need to go watch that. Okay, so the YNR, what does that mean?
It meant Young and Ruthless. I was a part of a rap group at first, and I just always felt like it was within my, it wasn't like a rap group to where like we was signed to anything. It was just a clique, and we was clicked up, and we used to hit the studio, put all our money together, and record music. And I just felt I was just always different. So like, I was always misunderstood within like, you know what I'm saying, just being in a group. Like, wasn't on no bullshit, but it was just like, motherfuckers knew my potential. They knew I was a star. They knew they could see it in me. And I just felt like it was a certain time period where I had to just be my own man and do my own things by myself. It wasn't nothing that sparked it or triggered it, but it was just out the simple fact of I just felt as if like I'd just be better on my own. And I always felt like a lot of jealousy between certain things. So like I just took that route on my own, and I made my own brand, my own label at like 15. Got the LLC for it, No Love NT, NLE. And I did it after that because I had a little heartbreak. And I was going through I used to go through heartbreaks with females and my niggas. Like, you know what I'm saying? They used to, niggas to cross, niggas to change up, regular stuff like that of that nature. And I said, you know what, from now on, I'm gonna call myself No Love. And made No Love Entertainment.
Okay. And you're talking about No Chorus Part 3. That was the song that kind of built a buzz?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then your first mixtape, No Love, The Takeover. Mm-hmm. That's when you started using the No Love name. Mm-hmm. Okay. When you put that out, I mean, did it have a big effect, or is it just kind of locally people were fucking with it?
Man, locally, people was fucking with it. I had one song on there that went extremely viral. It was called No Love Anthem. Mm-hmm. And that was a song I made about like a girl that did me wrong or whatnot. And I was 15. he know the whole come up. I was 15 and it was an audio. I wish I shot a video. It did like 100K in a month. I'm 15 years old and I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? You looking at something like that and it just boggles your mind of like what I can really do. And after that, I took it serious. It's my first song by myself. And it went up. And after that, I circled back with like a little mixtape I was putting together, put a few people on it, and it did extremely well to me at the time for being 15. You putting it through DistroKid. I made a good amount of money within myself just doing that. So I was cool. I ain't even buy the beats. I ain't buy the beats to clear them or nothing. I just threw them up there. Somehow DistroKid let it go through and I was getting paid. So.
Okay. And then the song Shot to Flow.
Shot to Flow.
Came together. That was 2019?
2019. It's January, I think 17th.
Okay.
Life was changed forever after that.
17 years old at the time?
I was 16.
16.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You put this song together. Mm-hmm. Did you feel like you had something on your hands? Or was it just another song that you're just whipping out in the studio?
Man, I knew it was because I always had a buzz before I even made music, because I was I just always been a likable person, funny, you know what I'm saying? So I used to do like little comedy things. I had a whole agenda and a whole plan. I was like, you know what I'm saying, I don't mind showing my goofy side. I see niggas over here, they want to show guns, they want to show pistols, they want to be the most thugged out nigga of all time. Let them have that. I still know between me and him in the room, I'm going to come out alive, but I'm going to show my personality. You know what I'm saying? Because you a human. I feel like motherfuckers need to laugh sometimes, So I do like little comedy things, little fun things of that nature. And it used to get a lot of traction. And the whole time I'm like, yo, I'm gonna get all these people that gonna follow me, and then I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna come out with a song and they gonna fuck with it. And the plan worked drastically. And
yeah.
By the time I released Shot to Flow, I did a snippet on Instagram, and it had like 20K views on the snippet. And I'm like, I was rapping it in the car, and I'm like, yo, this shit it right here. And I went to the studio, I recorded it. Man, I did another snippet, that bitch hit like 50K views. I'm like, yo, I gotta drop now. I recorded it on a Friday, shot the video on a Saturday, and released it on a Sunday. Swear to God, I knew like how I supposed to did it. And man, I'm telling you, bro, this shit was so crazy. I had niggas in the city, when that shit first dropped, niggas was around the city like, that nigga buying views. Like, that's how crazy it was going. It was like, it's no way. You know what I mean? And me and my mans, we was talking after the video shoot. I asked him, I'm like, how many views you think it's gonna get? He say 100 million. I looked at him, I'm like, man, you crazy as hell. He said, what you think? I said, he'll do 1 million for sure. And that nigga was dead right. It shit did over 100 million plus. You know what I'm saying? So that shit changed my life.
When did the Birdman video come about in that whole thing? Was the song already like going crazy?
Yeah, it was
or did
going
it come
dumb.
later?
It was like a month later. I was meeting with labels. Every label, I met with every label, like except 2. Everybody wanted me that was having a bidding war over me. I flew to my Bearman, they flew us to Miami, me, my mama, my pops, my engineer. And you know what I'm saying, we sat down with him, we met about certain things. We didn't come to an agreement. But I mean, within the process, I got a song with him and Juvenile. You know what I'm saying? It was a blessing because I grew up watching Wayne, Hot Boys, all that type things. You know what I'm saying? So it just came about with him trying to sign me.
Okay, but the deal didn't go through.
Never went through.
Not enough money, or
Deal just, you know what I'm saying? The deal wasn't nothing.
Okay.
Everybody was offering like 360s. They was offering big signing bonuses, $3 million. I'm like, fuck that. I'm gonna stay independent, show y'all I can stay hot so I can come back and own my shit.
Right, because Shot of Flow got 10 million views in a month.
Mm-hmm.
It peaked to number 36 on Billboard.
Mm-hmm.
Song goes double platinum.
Yeah.
23 million views on Spotify.
Crazy.
So, I mean, the fact that it hit the Billboard charts and you're completely independent at this point, like how crazy was that?
God. That's all it was, God. I prayed, man, I prayed 2 years straight. You know what I mean? I used to be down on my ass. I used to deal with a lot. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all ever felt like y'all just been stuck and y'all don't know what life gonna give y'all or what life got to offer. But, you know what I'm saying? I was in the predicament where I had all F's, 1 A. The A was in PE. You know what I'm saying? I was getting suspended. It wasn't because I was dumb. I just wasn't going to school because I kept getting suspended. I get 2 weeks suspension here, a week suspension here. There's no way I could catch up on work. Contemplating dropping out, was constantly getting kicked out the house, or I leave on my own, go sleep on my boy couch. I was going through the hardest time period of my life, you know what I mean? Basketball, I love basketball to death, couldn't see the court, you know what I'm saying? I was one of the best point guards in Memphis, but I couldn't play because my behavior disturbed that. You know what I'm saying? Coaches calling me like, what you doing? What you got going? Why you ain't been in practice? I'm on the block with a pistol trying to figure out how I'm going to make some money because I feel like I'm finna drop out. I'm finna tell mama I'm finna drop out. I know I'm going to need somewhere to live, so I might as well go and start stacking my bread whichever way I can. That's how I was looking at things. And man, within that process, I had faith, man, and just kept praying and trusted God, and He blessed me tremendously. And I can't never say it's me. You know what I'm saying? The position I was in, people don't make it from that just out the simple fact of being depressed. You know what I'm saying? People don't overcome things like that. And I'm saying I give all glory to God how that shit happened, because shit exploded. I'm still big now. I'm still going. Not a one-hit wonder, still going.
Well, I mean, you've talked about depression.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like this is, I mean, have you been clinically diagnosed as anything? You know, is it bipolar disorder or?
Man, you don't have to go to the doctor to know what's wrong with your body. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the times you know, if your dick burning, you got something. You know what I'm saying? If your eyes blurry, you can't see. You know what I'm saying? I just knew I was depressed because I felt terrible, but it wasn't one thing I can say why I felt terrible. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers that ask me what's wrong, I'd be like, man, I honestly don't know. You know what I mean? It was like, it was just so much hitting me at one time for a teenager. You know what I'm saying? I done had babies on the way. Like I had a baby on the way, and it was so much going on. Police interrogating me about this and that, and this and school, this, school. It was so much, and I was like, bro, everything hitting me at one time. And one thing I learned about the world and life is you hit your lows before you hit your highs. So with life, I just been learning every time I feel that way or I feel in that state of mind, I know God's finna send the biggest blessing towards me, because that's what He did the first time, and He's done it time and time again. So I was dealing with it tough, man, and didn't know how to deal with it. And now I know, you know what I'm saying? Now I know it's just life, you know.
Well, after Shot of Flow blows up, Blueface jumps on the remix, and that shit does 330 million views
That shit,
on
I think
Spotify.
that shit more platinum than the original.
Yeah, no, way bigger.
Mm-hmm.
It's like more than it's like 15 times bigger.
Yeah.
You know, Cole Bennett did the video.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, I like the original better. Me personally.
Yeah.
But clearly the audience likes
It was
the Blueface.
It was a momentum thing. It was
Yeah.
like he had bust down on the Tatiana joint, and
Right.
I was coming fire hot, and everybody was like, it was funny because Cause when in terms of rappers, you would be like, Blueface is probably not the typical rapper you would pursue to be the best rapper for a song. But I just always been so smart. I knew what the fans would want. They was like, oh, put Lil Baby on a remix. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, it'll do good, but I feel like that with Blueface would go more viral. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Baby would have gave me a better verse, but I feel like me and Blueface is just like, it would have meant more viral. We was both flaming hot at the time. Why not? So and I played my cards right on that situation, and it went bigger than the first one. So
yeah, and you know, Shot to Flow sort of became a theme, like a series, not a theme, but a series.
Yeah,
because then Shot to Flow 2 came out in February. That got like 20 million views in like 2 months.
Yeah.
So really, at this point, now you're really in the game, getting big views on everything, and you're still not signed to a label. Because I remember right around that time I met with United Masters, the president of United Masters, the female president, and she was talking about how you guys are working together and how you're not really signed to labels and how the United Masters allows you to keep more of your money and your masters and everything else like that. So you're pretty much at that point just doing everything independently.
Yeah, for sure.
But I feel like that year after that thing blows up, after the song blows up, that's when you start getting in the news all the time for all types of shit that you probably don't want to be in the news for.
Man, for real. When you 16, you got money, drugs, pussy, all that type things just thrown at you. It's like you kind of lose focus, and that was like the only. I feel like when I was 17, my whole year when I was 17, and when I was 16 and 17, it's like I lost the original plan with what I made the oath with to my creator. It's like I disturbed from it. Like I got all the way from it. I ain't even do drugs before I blew up. I smoked weed, and I smoked weed probably like 5 times before I blew up, and every time I smoked weed I had a bad high, and I ain't fuck with it. I never popped perks because I ain't trust nobody around me with no perks at that age, because I'm like, how the fuck you getting that shit? Where you getting it from? So I never trusted it. But when I started to blow up, I started getting it from a reliable source or whatnot, so I do drugs and whatnot. And, you know what I'm saying? I just wasn't thinking right no more. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't as pure as my first intentions was set. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things disturbed me from it, which, as you should, you know? You're 16, you know, you're young, you got the biggest song in the world, everybody doing, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be that way, and it's up for you to learn and just improve on it.
Well, yeah, because I started going through the history, and it's just like all of these things are happening right after another. So, for example, on March 30th of 2019, you got into a fight at a show in North Carolina.
Whooped the nigga ass.
You know, then in June, something happened between you and Quando Rondo, allegedly.
Yeah, he
claimed
threw a bottle.
He hit you in the face with a bottle.
Nah, he ain't hit me.
No.
He ain't hit me.
Okay, he hit somebody.
He hit somebody that was with me. But he threw it for like 10 yards away.
Okay. And then I believe the day after, there was a report that you broke your hand punching a wall.
Yeah, I had a fight, and then I took it out on the wall after the fact.
The next month, you and your girlfriend at the time gets your face tattooed on her. And then you got her name tattooed on the back of your neck. It?
Yeah, I got a cover now. Yeah.
Okay.
My baby mother current. Shout out to her. She a real one. We on great terms.
Okay. In retrospect, do you think that getting tattoos of each other's names and faces at 16 was the best move, or was it just we're young and we're just emotional?
Just young and doing it. It's not something where I regret, because at the end of the day, you're young, and I feel like the best part about being young and dumb, to a sense, is learning. Because you can be young and dumb, but now I'm more so young and smart. You know what I mean? I'm a person where like I learn from everything. I've always been hard headed, so like, motherfucker tell me not to do this, I always did it. But once I did it, I realized, okay, that fight hot. I don't want to fuck with that fight no more. So just learning every situation, and now I'm the most mature version of myself. And 19, this nigga's 30, 40 that ain't even where I'm at in the headspace. So.
With the tattoos, when you look at some of your earlier pictures, you don't have any tattoos.
No, I had none.
And then now your whole body is tatted, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I know your whole chest and your whole back.
Yeah.
One of your legs is tatted, your hands. Mm-hmm. So did all those tattoos sort of come all at once?
It came like you could pretty much say it came all at once because it came so quick, but it was just coming at different times. Like everything, tattoos was therapeutic for me. I just used to smoke weed and vibe out while the ink was hitting me, and just used to put different things that was inspiration to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got No Love Across the Knuckles. That was the first shit. That's why I brand myself as. Broken Heart, brand myself. Cottonwood, where I'm from. 444, that's the numbers I was seeing 2 weeks straight before I actually blew up with Shotter Flow. So like a lot of tattoos I was getting was just like, when you look at them, it's like a book. I can explain every one and let you know what it means to me. You know what I'm saying? So it was therapeutic during this time period.
Well, July of that same year, the cops raided your tour bus.
Yeah.
They find anything, or?
They raided my tour bus. They actually, I think it was they raided the studio, if I'm not tripping. They raided the studio. I can't remember anything about a tour bus, unless I forgot. But they raided the studio before. They found like 13 guns and weed pills and all that stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Did that all get worked out ultimately?
Yeah, I think it did. I just never went back to it.
Okay.
On nothing in mind, but I never went to court or nothing about it. We was in Mississippi, so they laws way different. Like, guns was like different. And there was too many people to say who guns was who. I just feel like they kind of just took it.
Yeah, everyone got a gun in Mississippi. I mean.
Yeah.
And then later that year, you put out Capo.
Yeah.
160 million streams on Spotify.
Crazy. One of my favorite songs to perform.
One of your biggest songs.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, is that your? Hold on a second. When you look at Spotify,
I think Walk 'Em Down the biggest, but Capo for sure is like one of the ones.
Walk 'Em Down, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the big thing. We'll get to that. You know, that year you also put out Bird Boy,
mm-hmm.
put out Block Is Hot,
mm-hmm.
ATL Jacob, which I guess is a tribute to Lil Wayne.
Yeah, Black Is Hot.
Yep. And you also put out Free YoungBoy.
Mm-hmm.
That music video got like 19 million views on Spotify. I'm sorry, on YouTube, 30 million on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
Was there any relationship between you and YoungBoy before then?
In a sense, you know what I mean? Nothing major to the point where I never met him in person or whatnot. I had talked like via phone or via text. Me and Montana, we used to always be real cool. He was always like a big brother to me when I was first coming into the game. What's crazy is he DM'd me and wanted to sign me. And I didn't see the DM until I was signed. I feel like it was low key a blessing in disguise or whatnot. But
so you were they wanted you to sign to Never Broke Again?
Yeah, Montana did. I don't know about all the other artists or whatnot, but Montana, he hit me. And I feel like in that, I would have took it, but I had the right team with me too. So like we would have reviewed the contract or whatnot. If it wasn't what it was, I wouldn't have signed it. But I for sure would have, you know what I'm saying, met up with them and tried to see what was up with it. Cause at the same time, like when I was coming up, YoungBoy music, he was a big influence on like, you know what I'm saying, my everyday life. You know what I mean? So like even though views or whatnot, or they'll say, oh, you don't fuck with that person, you don't fuck with that. Honestly, I don't. As a person, I don't. But I'm not gonna disturb the fact of a person having good music or whatnot, or how I used to receive the music. Do I listen to it now? Hell no. But you know what I'm saying, at the same time, like it was once a part of me. You know what I'm saying? It once helped me through certain things. So you know what I'm saying, you gotta give credit where credit's due.
I mean, when you and I were beefing, when you were talking shit about me, I was basically, you know, calling you like a wannabe YoungBoy and everything else like that. I mean, do people bring that up? Is that like a thing that
I hear? I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? I hear it with my hair now, like, you know what I'm saying? I've always been growing my dread, my locks or whatnot, and motherfuckers just getting locks, and now I'm trying to do their hairstyle. Like, I had the locks first, or I'm doing it. You know, it's kind of it's annoying, but you know what I'm saying, it's life. They're gonna do what they do. I'm not mad at it. I mean, it's just what they do at this point. I done got used to it.
So Free YoungBoy,
Mm-hmm.
that came out on No Love Entertainment. Was that the first song on your own label?
No. Camelot was the first one. It was
Camelot,
like with Warner and a partnership with it always was like my label. It was all everything I did was like a partnership, but it would just be between the two. So it'd be United Masters X No Love NT or Warner Records X No Love NT.
Okay. So when did the Warner deal come together?
Warner deal came. The first single we dropped was Camelot.
So before Camelot, you signed to Warner. So you went all this way with all this success with nobody.
Nobody.
You know, United Masters is really more of just a support. I look at it as not like a real label, more of just like a support system.
Yeah.
Why sign to a major label at that point?
So boom, it's simple. When I was with Steve Stout at United Masters, everybody was offering me $3 million, but I wouldn't own my music. I wouldn't have any creative control. So I was like, you know what? I don't want that. I'd rather take a pay cut. I'd take $250K, which is what I took. I signed. I got a $150,000 bonus or $100,000 bonus. Pocketed that, put that in a bank, saved it, only spent money on like a Sprinter. But when I signed, I never signed. I signed physically, and then as a juvenile, you're supposed to go to court and sign as well. I was stalling out going to court because I didn't know if it was final with me. But they had already gave me the money and whatnot of everything. And through the process of that, I feel like Steve Stout, he kind of low-key don't fuck with me for. But I feel like at the end of the day, it's business. You know what I'm saying? It would be business just like on his end. It was business on my end. But at the same time, he can't really say like I was wrong, because if you sign something and you ain't took it to court, I'm not finna give you your bread until you sign in court. But long story short, I signed, but I didn't really sign in court. And I stayed hot for like 6 to 7 months. And I technically wasn't signed to a label. I was technically still independent. And labels were still calling every day. They was calling every single day trying to get a deal worked out. And we worked out a deal with Warner. It was like, throughout the deal, I'm gonna make $8 million. I'm gonna get my own label. I'm gonna own my masters. And I'm gonna have creative control. So I said, why the fuck not? That's the deal I wanted. You know what I'm saying? I own my music. I get 8 M's out of the whole process. I get my own label where I get a budget and I can sign artists. And I get creative control. I can wake up today and say, I wanna drop right now. I get to drop. That shit was a win. And I feel like they couldn't offer me that, which is, you know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with them. Nothing wrong with that.
You mean United Masters couldn't offer?
Yeah, they couldn't offer that because they didn't have the money for that. They didn't have, you know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with it, but you know what I'm saying? I just had to do what was best for me in that situation.
Yeah. And I mean, with this new deal, Camelot actually peaked at number 37 on the US charts. So that's your second top 40 hit. So now you're on the charts twice.
Yeah.
What really changed once you were under Warner?
A lot more people to contact about this or that, but nothing really. I still feel like it's a lot on me. If I'm being honest, if I'm being 100% honest, I still don't feel like no disrespect to Warner, but I still don't feel like I just got the biggest fucking bag behind me or something like that. You know, I still feel like a lot of the songs that actually worked was songs that I hit them on Monday and said, I want this to drop Friday with no budget behind it, no nothing, and just drop it. And it did what it did. It went explosive. And sometimes it's like this with a label, man. It's records that they love, and once they love it, that's what they want to put something behind it. But when it's certain records that you love and you try to get them to love it the same, it's like they don't love it if they don't see the vision. So certain things, they didn't love it because they didn't see the vision. And I put it out anyway, and it did tremendous numbers. And it was like, now they scrambling like, oh, let's put this on playlist. Let's do this, let's do that. And I'm like, motherfucker, I told you it was one of the ones already. And like, so I just feel like this is like the only thing I don't mess with as far as like the label shit is just being like, listen, man, when I tell y'all I got something here, we got it. I'm gonna recoup regardless. Every paycheck y'all done gave me, I done recouped out of. Cause I'm a hit maker, I'm gonna sell music. That's what I'm gonna do. But you know what I mean? It's understandable though. You got it, you know, it's a whole roster. You got Sweetie over there, you got Wale, you got a lot of artists over there, so I can't get all the money, but honestly, I'm the biggest one at the label besides Bruno Mars.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the numbers.
Yeah.
Just is what it is. And then in December of that same year, 2019, you drop your debut EP, Cottonwood,
which I owe Steve Stout. So they was trying to sue me or whatnot because I did what I did. Which legally they couldn't sue me anyway because it was their fault. But
because you were underage.
Yeah, I was.
Isn't that how Lil Pump got out of his deal?
I think he did.
Yeah, because he signed a deal underage and he got basically just skirted out of the deal because he was underage. Yeah.
Yep. And throughout that process, I didn't have to get him a tape technically because I wasn't signed, but I said, you know what, I feel like that's the right thing to do. Let's just give him a tape. And currently that tape is gold, and put some songs on there. And a lot of the singles are gold on there now, and and that was one of the hardest time periods of my life because like my Instagram just somehow got fucking banned. It was just it's just true.
Hey, man, I got Boosie on here all the time. He's on his 84th Instagram page, I think. Like he just launched a new one last night. He hit me. He's like, "Yo, tell." Yeah. Meek Mill actually showed up on Cottonwood.
Yeah.
It's a dope collab.
Shout out to Steve Stout. He made that happen.
Oh, he made that happen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like that's one thing about me that you're going to take away from me. It don't matter what I've been through with a person or what happened. I never not give credit. That man Steve Stout put me in some great rooms. He put me around great people. I met J. Cole. I got to shake LeBron hand. I saw KD. All this at 16. I'm seeing all this shit at 16. Know what I mean? So like, it's like a love-hate, but I love him more than he hate me a little bit probably, but I love him. I want to give him a hug, just like you.
Well, then 2020 rolls around, and you're getting ready to put out your debut album, Top Shot.
Top Shot.
And before that happens, though, you start releasing some singles. Walk 'Em Down with Roddy Ricch, which is actually my favorite song by you. That's the song that I think I listen to the most.
This is my favorite one, too.
There you go. Great minds think alike. 390 million views on Spotify.
It's crazy. That's crazy.
I'm not counting the Apple streaming numbers. I'm not even looking at YouTube right now. I'm looking at almost 500 million views on just Spotify.
And I feel like what a lot of people don't understand, there was at 2 years in. I'm only 3 years in.
And I think what's dope about that record is that usually when you get Roddy Ricch, you got, people try to get him to do the hook. But you actually did that hook yourself.
Yep.
And you just had Roddy just do a verse.
It was crazy. I invited him to the studio. This was like 2-3 months before he released the box, and or that whole Antisocial album. And so like, it was like at the time period we was both like at least on the same level. Or I was really bigger than him at the time because I feel like I was flaming hot. I feel like momentum what makes you bigger than a person. He had way more records than me for sure that went gold or platinum. But at that time I just had the momentum. Everybody was fucking with me. And he pulled up the same night. It was crazy. I recorded it right in front of him. And he was telling me he didn't want to record that night. He was like, when he first came in, he was like, "Nah, I ain't gonna record. I like to feel niggas out and vibe with them and see if they a real nigga before I record with them." I was like, you know what, that's good. I'm the same way. I'm like, shit, I ain't knocking you about that. I mean, I ain't tripping. I said, shit, we just sit here and talk about whatever, you know what I mean? This shit a blessing to have you in the presence anyway. So I recorded the song, and I remember I get to the second hook, and I finished the hook, Walk 'Em Down, and I'm like, damn. I'm like, I don't even want to do a second verse because I feel like I'm going to fuck it up. I feel like this song too good. I don't want to fuck it up. So I said, shit, why not? I'm going to go and ask him one more time. I looked at him. I said, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. I said, I don't want to fuck this song, girl, but I do feel like I could use your verse on this bitch. And that nigga said, he looked at me, he said, you know what? I'm gonna go and fuck with him, see what I can do. And I watched the nigga record, and I was like, yo, I'm listening to him record. I'd never seen a nigga record like how he recorded. I'm like, yo, this shit crazy. And he finished it. And the shit was a fucking hit. And that was the song. I sent it to the label group chat. And I feel like that's the song they love the most out of anything. Them motherfuckers put a buku bag behind it. Made it right back. You know what I mean? So like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, if they love something, they gonna love it, they gonna put it behind it. Camelot, they loved it. That shit like my second most streamed song to date, I believe, behind Walk 'Em Down. So,
Well, Walk 'Em Down comes out, it goes crazy. So you're really like riding high, but then right around March, think it was like March 15th of 2020. That's when, in terms of my radar, where I started to become concerned. Because you tweeted that you're going to take your own life on the last day of 2020.
No, I was dead serious.
You were serious?
I was dead serious. A lot of people like, oh, he playing. I was dead serious.
How could you be going through that much success and happiness and being able to help your family and, you know, all these fans and really doing what you love, being good at it and getting the recognition and the rewards of it and saying, okay, in 8.5 months, I'm going to kill myself?
Man, I'm going to put it just like this, and it's as simple as it get. You can have everything you want, but if you don't have nothing you need, you're going to crash and burn.
Wow.
And I had everything I wanted. I can call a bitch, she'll suck everybody's dick in here right now. I can call a bitch right now, she'll suck everybody's dick in here right now. I can bring some money in here, I can break bread, I can give each one of y'all $100K right now. I wouldn't be fucked up about it. I could come in here, I can get everybody a chain out of my own jewelry box. Wouldn't be fucked up about it. But if you don't love yourself, if you don't love if you don't have love for, if you don't have care within yourself, love within yourself, respect within yourself, you're gonna allow whatever around you, and it's just gonna pull and drain the fuck out of you. You know what I'm saying? You can be good-hearted, you can still be a good person and not love yourself. I had the tendency of loving others or loving other things more than I love myself. So I do a lot for people, or I do a lot for certain circumstances, and just would never get it back. And like I was exhausted. Drugs was getting the best of me. Weed was heavy. I feel like weed was the worst drug I did because it was so accessible, and it make it seem like it's the best drug to do because it's not harsh. But I was overusing it, over smoking it. It's just a lot going on, bro. And I just made it up in my mind. I'm like, man, I don't want to be here. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like once you get to the point to where you feel like you off yourself, you a dangerous man, because you don't give a fuck about nothing, if that's the case. And I knew I needed help, and I remember being at Circle Penthouse, downtown LA, down on my ass, bro. I was at my lows, bro. Like, it don't get no lower than that. It don't get no lower. To be able to tweet some shit like that, it don't get no lower as that, bro. And to really stand on it, want to stand on it, it don't get no low. You know what I'm saying? And I really, I sat down and I prayed. I prayed hard as fuck, bro. And I'm like, I tell this story damn near every interview I do, bro, because I'm just a living testimony of it. And I prayed, I asked God, I'm like, I was crying, praying. I'm like, I don't know what it is. I got everything I want. Why do I feel this way? What is going on? What is it? Like, what can I do? I'm praying, I'm like, Heavenly Father, when I wake up, please show me something that can relieve what I got going on, because this weed ain't working, this money ain't working, this temporary feelings for sex ain't working. None is taking away how I feel internally. I said, what is gonna help me? And I promise you, the next day, the next day, right after I prayed, God came to me, and I knew it was God, because he come to you as you. And it was just the deepest thought in my mind, and I got the chills, and I knew it wasn't my conscience, it was a fucking being. You know what I mean? And he said to me, he came to me as me. I swear to God, this is exactly what my brain said. He said, my nigga, you remember that prayer you told me before you blew up? And it was like, you remember the prayer you said that you want to get into this industry, this negative ass industry, to be able to make a positive outlook and change it for the better. You want to get in this entity of negative. You want to get into this entity of the devil. And you want to and do all these things. And remember, you told me that you wanted to make a light out of it, and I wasn't shining that light. What was I doing positive? You just listed a whole list of shit of me just bullshitting. And that's why I said when I was 16 and 17, I lost touch of God. I lost touch with God. I wasn't praying every night. I wasn't being grateful. I had nigga, do you know how big Walk 'em Down is? Do you know, like, I got hits, I'm still making hits, but do you know how bad I want another Walk 'em Down hit, just off the simple fact, not because I want money in my pocket, but I just want to be grateful for it, because I felt I wasn't grateful for that shit. I was going through the worst time of my life. I got a song that's did 30 million in a month. I'm looking at that shit and going back and feeling like shit. Man, nah, I want to be grateful for my next hit like that. So I was talking to God, and he was like, man, you ain't stood on what you said. You said you want to be able to be here to help and heal and shine the light. Well, you ain't doing it. What you doing? You ain't doing it. And the next morning, I made an oath. I said, you know what? I'm going to get back on my shit. And I promise you, I found meditation the next morning. And that shit, meditation stopped me from smoking. Meditation stopped me from hanging around niggas that ain't had shit going. Meditation changed my whole diet. I became vegan. This was all in a week, bro. I was like, bro, it's God. You know what I'm saying? And I found out what balancement really was. See, prayer is you talking to God and asking God something. But meditation is him giving you the answer. And that's what I realized, man. Ever since then, I've been straight since, bro.
Right, because was it in June that you had your first child?
Mm-hmm. That was another thing. I had a child on the way, and I felt like God give you what you need instead of what you want. I said, man, if I got a son on the way, I ain't gonna change nothing. I'm still be smoking. I'm gonna still be gun heavy. I'm gonna still hang around 100 niggas, because at the same time, you got it in your heart, my son not gonna be a bitch. I want my son to be gangster like his daddy or tough like his daddy. And like, you say you got a daughter, it's like, oh shit. Like, I can't have 100 niggas around my daughter. Niggas weird. Niggas real deal be pedophiles out here. You not finna be around my daughter. I can't be smoking around my daughter. I don't want, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things you have to change when you have a little girl on the way. And that was one of them things that sparked it. And meditation just carried me all the way through it. And I remember when I got to the last day of December, I knew I wasn't gonna kill myself because I had already worked my battles out within self, and I felt great. But I was so scared to face that day because I just felt like I had spoke some shit up to where like something would have happened to my ass. Like, you know, that type energy can consume. It don't matter if it's not coming from you. Something could have just happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, didn't you apologize for actually putting it out there?
Yeah.
Saying, I'm sorry for saying I'm going to kill myself.
I was more so sorry to myself, more so than anybody. Like, fuck what everybody else think. You know what I'm saying? During that apology, I was apologizing to everybody. But now that I look at it, the apology really was more so meant for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't never need to disrespect myself like that again. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing with your baby mother, there was an incident that happened at her house. Mm-hmm. You said that's how you caught your second felony.
It was like, I think it was my third, I believe, one night. Yeah.
Okay. And it was a shooting?
It's now, if we being honest, we can bring a lie detector in here. Me and my baby mother, we on great terms, and their case is already nipped in the bud.
It's worked out.
Yeah, I got probation for one thing. It was like vandalism, which I told the judge. I said, Your Honor, I did this. I kicked the garage in. Yes, I did, but the shit when they said I shot up a house while my daughter was in there, that never happened. That's false.
Okay, because that's what I was concerned about.
Man, it's extreme.
That never happened.
It never happened. Oh. That's on my heartbeat. That's on my little girl heartbeat. That never happened. I never. Right. Matter of fact, in the police report, it was no shell casings found on the scene. There was no bullet holes in the house, and I still got charged with it. I also got charged with assault. In the affidavit, it said I assaulted her with closed fists. When they picked me up, you couldn't see a mark on my hand from punching a motherfucker, and also you couldn't see a mark on someone's face. If I punch you with a closed fist, my knuckles bony as hell. You gonna be fucked up somewhere. And it was non-apparent. And also I had got a burglary charge, but someone opened the door for me and let me in. So those three things got tossed out. There was no evidence, and they just charged me with vandalism, which I told them, I'm like, yo, I take this. I did that. That's the only thing I did do. And I got probation for like 6 months, and that shit went by quick.
Okay, thank God.
Yeah, and I finally I couldn't see my daughter. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, the judge said that I could see my daughter, but I just couldn't be in the same vicinity of my baby mother. But still, I didn't see my daughter for a whole year. I only saw my daughter for the first week she was born, and I didn't see her to the next year on her birthday.
So you missed out all that whole year, bro. The first steps, the first words.
Missed out.
You didn't get to change your diapers.
Missed out, not one.
It's all fucked up.
I changed it one time and I forgot. When I got with her, I didn't even remember how to change one.
Right.
Like it was the hardest part. One of the hardest parts of my life, but within the process, I said, you know what? God don't do things to me. He do it for me. So within the process, I was just working on myself. Good. Every day I was becoming a better version of me, accepting my wrongs as well. Always knowing that I'm not an angel. I know I did wrongs too. And just accepting it and being a human being and just learning from your mistakes and moving accordingly, you know.
Well,
now I'm with her a lot. You know what I'm saying? She's my favorite person. I can be more than grateful. Every second with her is plush.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, you kept dropping music. Shout Out Flow 5 came out. Narrow Road came out with Lil Baby.
Huge. I told everybody at the video shoot, I'm like, he passing me the torch this shoot. I'm like, he passing the torch, because that's when he was coming off My Turn. He had the biggest, I think that's his biggest album to date.
Yeah.
It feel like everything always went in synchronicity. Like, I always complained about features I didn't get. I used to tell my label, I used to be like, man, y'all ain't helping me with this feature, but a lot of shit of the features that came naturally, like Roddy Ricch, 2 months later, he released The Box. He was the biggest motherfucker in the world. And he kept his word and shot the video with me and released that. Then Narrow Road, I was chasing you can ask Lil Baby, I was chasing that nigga 2 years straight to get that shit shot. That nigga, that's a busy nigga, man. Lil Baby, man, he was busy as hell, so it was hard to get him. And the audio did 12 million in a month. And I followed back up with the video like a month or 3 later. And
yeah, that did 30 million on the video.
Did healthy.
And then on August 7th, the Top Shot album got released.
Beautiful. It's gold to this day.
Your biggest album at this point.
Almost platinum.
You got on the Double XL freshman list for
Freshman
2020. And then around that time, that's when you did the whole Awaken Choppa YouTube channel about a healthy lifestyle.
This man right here, he do it. He run it.
That's who does it?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, and you, along with that, you're saying doctors only meant to keep people sick. I think you were mad at people for eating Travis Scott hamburgers at McDonald's.
Shout out Travis Scott. What I was mad.
And then on November 1st, you put out. Well, you didn't put it out, but you announced Dark to Light.
From Dark to Light, my birthday.
There you go. And that's when there's a whole like kind of Zen kind of album cover, kind of like a Japanese anime kind of thing that goes on. And I thought, like I got to listen to the whole album. It's got some standout songs. Moonlight with Big Sean, I thought was real dope. That did 30 million on Spotify. Picture Me Graping, I thought was dope. So this album comes out, and when you look at it now, all the songs are over 1 million views, 30 million here, 10 million there, and so forth. But when it came out, it only sold 4,000 copies.
Yeah.
And people were running you through the ringer.
That was clowning, and I felt it made me feel quite bad. But the label was telling me, that was like, my nigga, you want to release it on your birthday, right? And I'm like, yeah, I want to release it on my birthday. This is what I want to do. And I always been the type person, like, you ain't gonna tell me what I'm about to do. If this where I wanted to come out, this when I wanted to come out. That's why I got the deal for me to be, but they just was looking out for me that like, well, if you release it on this day, you're gonna lose 4 days of streaming. I didn't release it on a Friday. I released it like on a Wednesday or something. So like I had lost a lot of days of streaming. So how it works is if I release it on a Tuesday or Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I only have 4 days of streaming. 3 or 4, it was one of them. I gotta look at the dates, but I didn't have that much time for streaming. And even if I had the full week, I still feel like it probably would have sold like 15K, 16K, which still would have been not good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, on the lower end for an artist of your caliber.
But at the same time, it's understandable. Now I look back on it, it's extremely understandable. During the time period, I felt bad because I was like, okay, they don't get it. But certain things aren't meant for them to get until later on. And it's catching on now. You know what I'm saying? We're moving in a time period where people want to hear a lot of conscious things. A lot of people want to hear enlightened type things. And I just feel like I was like one of the first to do it. And when they look back on it, people would be like, I didn't understand when he dropped it, but now I understand it. And now I feel like this is one of his best works as well.
Yeah, no, I thought it was mature. I thought you could tell the difference between the first album and this one. And when you look at this one, every song is over 1 million streams. And then, Moonlight is at like 26 million, Picture Me Graping is at 30. Bryson is at 14. 100 Grapes is at 4.5, and so forth. You did the whole Tupac thing on Picture Me Great. I mean, you sampled one of his songs, and then you recreated Hit 'Em Up.
Yeah, I was him in my past life. That was me.
The whole spitting, when he was wearing the red hockey jersey.
And
me, I'm a huge Tupac fan. I mean, I like to credit myself for actually solving Tupac's murder. I interviewed Keefe D. I don't know if you ever saw that.
Yeah, I saw it.
But the guy that was in the car. So, me and Edie from the Outlaws are real good friends. So watching that, I was like, okay. Like,
it was beautiful.
Yeah,
I tell everybody it was me in my past life,
You felt you were Tupac in your past life?
Past life, man. I'm uncomfortable in elevators. I feel like whatever you really scared of, or not to a sense of scared, or like scared or a sense to where you don't want to go out, that's how you went out before the life you in. I don't want to be killed in a shooting. I don't want to die by a gun. Every time I get in an elevator, I get this crazy type paranoia. It'd be weird. I'm misunderstood. I stand out. A lot of people don't understand me. They don't get it. You know what I'm saying? I speak about controversial things all the time in my own way. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like a lot of similarities line up. Also, I know in my life before that, I died in a plane crash. It's crazy. A lot of people might think I'm crazy, but like, bro, I know my whole, like, I know myself, man. And I always get this insane, uncomfortable type feeling on planes. Like, I love flying, but I fly a lot to where, like, I'm like, I get uncomfortable on planes, and I never understood until I watched somebody, they did like a reading. This girl did a reading on my past lives.
I've had
recycle
those.
soul.
Yeah. I went to New Orleans and I met with the what do you call the woman who not a witch doctor, but in New Orleans it's called something.
Voodoo Village?
Yeah, it was a voodoo goddess of New Orleans, and she told me about my past lives. And
yeah, she'll tell you.
And listen, at the end of the day, who's to say she's not right?
I'm gonna tell you what makes you reincarnate to come back. You got a job and a purpose, and once you don't fulfill it, you got to come back here. I just feel like, honestly, I feel like Earth is hell, so there's no such thing as a hell state or whatnot. I do believe it's a heaven state, but I feel like this is hell. But it's like the trial and the tribulation here to see, do you get to that next step in the afterlife and all. I feel like I'm just a recycled soul that came up short sometimes with trying to help and heal, because I felt I probably got a little weak to do it. But I know for a fact this life I'm gonna fulfill the purpose that I gotta come here and do.
I actually looked up the Voodoo Queen of
Yeah,
New
okay,
Orleans.
that's her name.
She was actually a white lady.
For real?
Who was trained in Haiti.
For real?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like, but listen, man, at the end of the day,
I would meet her.
Yeah, you go down to New Orleans. 2021, you got arrested for burglary, drug, and weapon charges.
Yeah.
Is that the baby mama thing, or is there something different?
No, that's another charge.
Okay. Can you talk about that?
That case open, so it's still open.
So let's just not talk about it.
Yeah.
If it's open, we're not going to talk about it. But you put out a first day out freestyle.
Yeah.
On the Spot 'em Got 'em beatbox.
And that shit went crazy.
Yep.
That shit went dumb.
So you actually licensed the song? Because it's actually on Spotify, right? So you actually had a license.
Yo, they made it to where it's like a remix, and I still perform it in my show. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them that they did that. I guess they seen how crazy it was going dumb, man. They was like, yo, let's put it on our platform, send me the session. I'm gonna put your verse at the beginning and Spot 'em. He did like 6 of them. I think he did one with the baby, Polo G and all that stuff, and they had a good little run with that. It was actually smart, real smart marketing. Pooh Shiesty was on one. So they had like 5 to 6. Huh?
I said free Pooh
Oh,
Shiesty.
yeah, free him from the same city.
Yep.
We made a song before the world even knew who we was. We made a song. We just play games, video games, GTA. Be on the game all night.
Yeah, but he's a dope artist. I hope he gets out early.
For sure.
Well, but then in May of 2021, I guess you and your crew got into it with some guys at the beach.
Yeah.
In Santa Monica, actually, out here.
Yeah, Santa Monica.
Anything happened with that, or
Nah.
just a
Nothing happened.
Just a regular fight?
It's a regular fight. Or I got clowned for getting hit. You know what I'm saying?
You got hit?
Yeah, I got hit in my face a little bit. I feel like you're supposed to get hit in a fight sometimes.
Yeah.
But it was clown that I got punched. But
Okay, well, what was the fight over?
Man, I was simply walking, being a human being, and he asked for a picture. I ain't even hear him. Asked me for a picture, and when he was riding off on a little scooter, he said, why you acting scared? Why you being a bitch or something? And he pulled off. And then my nigga to my left was like, you heard him? Heard him? I said, what you say? And he told me. And so I get to walking and I get to running towards him. I'm like, hey, yo. I'm like yelling. I'm like, what's that shit you said? And he come back and we meet up face to face. And I'm just asking him, I'm like, yo, what's up? I'm just asking what he was saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm a human at the end of the day, bro. You can't be saying stuff like that. Sometimes, first and foremost, I didn't hear you. You know what I mean? I didn't even hear you ask for a picture. And after that, things just escalated. I ran up on him, he threw a punch, and then we whooped his ass, and that was about it.
I mean, we're all humans at the end of the day, but you and I are financial targets.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm,
like everyone in this room, we're all equal, but if a fight happens, you and I are gonna get sued.
Yeah.
Not everyone else in this room.
For sure.
Because we're the ones that can actually, like, you know, we got the bag.
Yeah.
And we become targets and we can't act like a regular human because the blame will always be put on us.
Always.
Did you start to realize that around that time?
I never been sued for like, I've had plenty of situations like.
Not yet.
Yeah,
Not yet. You're still very young in this process.
I'm trying to work on myself.
I've had a bunch of lawsuits, boy, all types of shit. Let me tell you, people sue me for the dumbest shit. Like, you know, it just comes to territory.
I'm getting sued for something currently because I jumped in the crowd at my show.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, and somebody
see how I
got
just
hurt.
guessed that?
You know,
just dumb shit.
But like never for altercation, because I feel like I don't never just fight somebody that'll go to the police. But in the future, I'm trying to learn how to deal and cope with just getting mad and blacking out, because I got an extremely bad temper since being young, and I don't, when I get to that point, it's just that with me, and I just black out. Like, I really don't see nothing. I just see black, and I just shake back from it, and they be like, man, you fucked them up, or you did this and that, and I don't realize, because I get there, and it's like an adrenaline rush or a high, and something just take over, and I just...
Well, hopefully you could figure this out about yourself before you take a big financial loss.
For sure.
Because at the end of the day, you know, like look at the Mike Tyson situation. You know, this dude was harassing him on that plane, bothering the fuck out of him. And I've interviewed Tyson. Tyson got upset with me at one point during the interview, and I'm like, I'm legitimately scared right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, my security ain't gonna make it to this ring fast enough. Like, we're in a boxing ring doing an interview. Here you are, this multimillionaire, and you know, it seems like you've always been attracted to the guys that are still in the streets to a certain degree. Do you think that's a fair statement?
You think I'm attracted to them?
Well, not attracted to them, but I mean, you like having them around. You're friends with them, and you
You
maintain.
think I like having them around?
I'm just asking.
You think I'm friends? What do you think? You think I like having them around?
You just spoke nicely about Zip, so I just thought.
Yeah. You know who these guys are? When you talk, what do you say about me? I'm this big, whatever I am, right? But know who those guys are? Those are the guys that when I'm, whoever I am is a nobody, I'm here, those are the guys that live in the same building with me. They give my mother salt or sugar if they need, or milk. They're the same guys.
Tyson's a scary guy.
Yeah.
And this dude still harassed the fuck out of him to the point where Tyson had to whoop his ass.
Yeah.
And now the guy's suing him over some shit that he started.
Yeah.
So this is all I'm saying as someone who's successful and young and has a temper. I hope that you could psychologically figure it out, because spending all this time and effort to make this money only to have to give it to someone else is a terrible situation.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I worked on a lot within myself, and that's like one of them things that I always stuck. I don't know where it come from, or just me acting in that sense, but it's something I gotta control. You know what I'm saying? I already had somebody sue me for shit behind a gun before, so like that was a huge loss. Motherfucker sued me for they didn't sue me. They was trying to sue me, and I was like, look, bro, I just throw you some bread. But
well, that's what happens 90% of the time. You just settle to just make it go away. But it still hurts.
It still hurts.
It still hurts.
The shit was a lot.
Yeah, exactly. 2022. NBA YoungBoy drops an O-Block diss. Academics does a post and said NBA YoungBoy's rapping on Demon Time. Lil Reese said, he goes on Twitter and said, that ain't no Demon Time, you just rap like the rest of these rappers all rap. And then you responded and said, I stamped that. So people are taking that as a shot at YoungBoy.
I mean, it wasn't even a shot at him in a sense. It was just a simple thing of like, I fuck with Vaughn, you know what I mean? That was like my brother.
King Vaughn.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't even a music relationships. We got songs, we got a song that's out. You know what I'm saying? I got songs still I haven't released yet with him. It was always a brotherhood with him though. Like out of everybody in the industry, him and Polo was like the two most genuine ones I felt to me. I used to stay at his house when he was on house arrest. A lot of things, like, you know what I mean? Just always fucked with Vaughn. Always fucked with his nephew, whenever his kids or whatever, like FaceTime call, whatever, I was always there for Vaughn. So like, I just feel like it's hard. I just hate when people don't be here to defend their name. And I was telling academics the same thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? That was about it to it. It wasn't even no just diss to him, but like, shit, it's just like, I'm just protecting bro name.
Yeah, that whole situation's a mess, man. I mean, to be honest.
And honestly, like,
I never met Vaughn myself. We had an interview scheduled, which never happened, unfortunately.
Good dude, kind-hearted, good-hearted. Like, you know what I'm saying? What the internet portray of him, like, he just savage 24/7. He can get on that and then some, but who he is as a person 24/7, mellow and a loving dude, genuine, like one of the most genuine niggas I ever came by, you know what I mean? Make sure you straight, you know what I mean? Every situation, so like, you know?
Well, how did you feel? You know, because you and Quando Rondo had gotten into it previously, and then this situation happens, and it's all on tape, so we don't, we know what happened in that. When you saw that, look, I mean, people get into fights, people throw bottles, whatever. Shit happens. People walk away and talk shit and go on with their lives. But when someone dies, you can't apologize for that. You can't bring that back.
There's no comeback.
But when you saw how these things have escalated and you being close to Vaughn and seeing that whole situation unfold on the internet, how bad did it hit you?
It hit me hard, man. I remember I was cooking, you know what I mean? I was cooking breakfast. I was making breakfast for me. And my brother just walked in. He had walked in my house. And he said he didn't say it in an exciting way, but he said it in a way of like, I thought you already know this, but he was like, you know King Von died? I said, what, bro? He said, you know he died? They said he died last night. He got shot or something like that. And it's in the middle of me cooking, bro. I look at my phone and I see the shit. And I used to wake up and not touch my phone for like 2 hours or 3 hours just to keep a type of peace and start my day right. So when I looked at it, it just hit me crazy. And I remember, boy, I dropped down to the floor. I started crying, and my pops and my brother, they looking at me. Like my pops looking at my brother. He was like, you should never told him or whatever. Like I was gonna find out anyway though. And they was just trying to comfort a nigga. I burnt the vegan sausages I was cooking. Like it was just crazy. And yeah, it hit hard, man. It hit hard. But I was fucked up for a good week about that. Oh God.
I'm sorry for your loss, man.
No,
like I said,
cool.
I never got to meet it, but I was a fan of his music.
Yeah.
And I felt like this was like the next young gangster rapper.
For sure.
That was like
Potential
making his mark.
unmatched.
You see what I'm saying? Like he was like on his way to be that dude. And it just got cut short so quickly. Honestly, man, I mean, and I remember when I talked to Track about it, his manager who got shot in the process, I was saying how similar the situation was to the Tupac murder in a certain way. You know what I mean? Here is two dudes that are kind of beefing in the same vicinity. One of them decides to get physical with the other, and the retaliation is a shooting.
It's kind of crazy, right? Like,
Yeah.
It's the same scenario. And Von is like the same type of artist, same type of guy. Like it's just saying God must have had a plan, and the plan got to be probably bigger than we all know it is, because it's crazy how that scenario kind of fit with him. And he's really the Tupac of this generation, on his truth. Just content, storytelling, creative-wise.
And I say every time, I say it all the time, like, you can't even really blame Quando's side for doing what they do, because I know, like, on the same end, my niggas gonna do the same thing.
My security, I expect them the same way.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm getting jumped, you know, like we got two
he wasn't
security in the
getting
room right
jumped.
here. Like, you know, if something goes wrong, I expect them to protect me. You know
he
what I
wasn't
mean?
getting jumped, but he was. Von was
Well, it was a
fighting
one-on-one. It
like
wasn't
he was
a jump.
jumping
Yeah.
him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
you're right. Yeah, it wasn't a jump. You're right.
But like still, like I expect the same. Like if somebody walk up on me and I get hit and I stumble up and I can't catch myself and I'm getting my ass whooped, bro better do something. Blow him down, jump in, whatever. So you gonna expect for your people to ride and defend you. I feel like that's not where it went wrong yet. I feel like that's not where it went wrong. And I feel like anybody that wanna retaliate off this situation knows at the end of the day, dude that was with Quando was just doing what he was supposed to do to protect him as a brother. But you know what I'm saying, at the same time, it's just certain things you do that you ain't gonna come back from, and that's the dumbass cycle of the street.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing's a tragedy, because with Von, was a Slutty got killed as well, his man, and then a couple other people got shot. Like two people got shot. It was, man, Von had kids on the way. Like it's just sad on top of sad
It's
on top
crazy,
of sad.
unfortunate.
Did YoungBoy take shots at you on Know Like I Know?
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
When you heard that, what'd you think?
It was funny to me. I mean, I feel like, it's not serious when it hit the net. It's funny. I mean, it's just entertainment to me.
Yeah.
It was entertaining. Good song. Nice bars.
Around that same time, you got into it with someone at the airport?
Yeah. Rental car place, yeah.
What airport was it?
Atlanta. It was in Atlanta.
Airport.
Mm-hmm.
Are you seeing sort of a pattern at this point?
Yeah.
Of just fighting people in public?
Yeah. It's just something I gotta. It just come to me, man. I look forward to one time. And the time I did look forward, that was at the beach. Other times I was just protecting myself. The boy, he really came to me and jumped at me. That's really why I swung. I wasn't even gonna swing on him. I was gonna keep walking and try to go on by my day, because my family was all the way at the other end.
Did you have security with you that day?
Nah, they was landing a little later. I was just really dolo and my folks was down there. So like we was on two different planes and I landed first.
Yeah. That's how it happens.
But niggas, I ain't gonna lie, they get dealt with it, you know what I mean? He was talking, I hit him in the mouth. His mouth was kind of swole out of the fact. He claimed he punched me and I fell, but I didn't.
He claimed he knocked you out.
Yeah, I didn't fall. Didn't fall off a punch, you know. But I feel like he got what he deserved, and I just kept it pushing. But after that, I vowed myself. I was like, bro, if I keep becoming a slave to a person's words, like I'm a slave to him. You know what I mean? I keep doing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like, it just got to move differently. Move a different way.
The one time I've had someone approach me on some bullshit was at an airport. Actually, now that I think about it,
it's weird. It's like, I guess because they know
I was with my lady, and I think he was staring at her. And then when he saw me walk up with her, I think he got kind of jealous. You know what I'm saying? So then he like walked up to me and just started like kind of talking some shit lightweight. And she was like, "Let's go, come on, we're not engaging."
It's good. It's good to have a lady like that.
Exactly. So you dropped your third mixtape, Me Versus Me.
Yeah.
A lot of appearances on this one.
Mm-hmm. That's beautiful.
Polo G again.
My man.
G Herbo.
My man.
Moneybagg Yo.
Memphis.
And Young Thug.
Slap.
When you heard about the Rico case, what'd you think?
Unfortunate off rip. Cause I'm gonna let people know what they don't, what a lot of people don't understand when you in this industry, bro. You can wake up. Like I said, if I wanted a bitch to come here and suck everybody's dick, she'll do it right now. If I wanted to go make some money, I can do it. If I want to go eat what I want to eat, I can go eat it. But when all of that is just taken away in fucking morning time, unexpected, and now you in a 2x4, man, that shit different. That shit gonna hit, man. And that's where I realized every time I sat in a cell, it made me more grateful for what I had, because you free. You can do anything. You can wake up and say, I want to go to Portugal somewhere or something. You can do it. You can do it. You got the money to do it. You got the passport to do it. You can do it. But you can't say, I want to go outside this jail. Like, and that's where it hit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no. I mean, the first time I got locked up, the first thing I thought was that hip hop had been lying to me all these years. There's nothing fly about being in this cage right now. Like, like I grew up watching NWA videos, so they're rapping out of jail cells and it looks all cool. And, you know, people brag about how much jail time they got. And when you're actually in a cell, especially like in a precinct with no bathroom, you got to ask a damn cop, can you piss?
Yeah.
You just feel like a fucking animal at that point.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, and his case is very unfortunate, man.
Then I'm vegan. I remember last time I got locked up, I'm like, yo, I need some vegan food.
Like, nope, here's a bologna sandwich.
And me gave me a hot dog. That bitch was 3 different colors, brown, red, and pink, with some beans and shit. I'm like, man, it's some bullshit.
Yeah,
but yeah, like, you know, nobody want to live like that, man. And I feel for him and his whole, you know what I'm saying, his whole, everybody with him that's a part of it, you know what I mean? But I just feel for it. It's unfortunate.
I mean, does it make you feel like when you write lyrics now, do you feel like, you know, let me think over what I write down and put out? Because I read the 88-page indictment. Like Young Thug's lyrics and other YSL members' lyrics are all over that fucking indictment. Yeah. All over it. You know, like some of the shit is probably gonna get thrown out. Some of the shit might not get thrown out. You know, Boosie, when he was doing his murder case, his murder trial, for a day and a half, they played his lyrics to the jury. He had been saying this.
They took every lyric I had with my co-defendant name and played it. Every lyric I talk about killing in, they played it. Well, every murder lyric, really, they played it. And it was so crazy because they was trying to explain the lyrics, and some of their lyrics was wrong. They didn't even know what I was saying, but they was trying to say stuff, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, they gonna use it against you in court, you know. Anything you do on social media, they gonna use it against you in court. That's their tool. That's their tool to work with.
You know, people talk about, oh, you know, Vlad's the feds, you know, don't do interviews, but they'll take your music
all the time. Yeah.
They'll take your fucking music. You don't have to ever do an interview in life.
And on top of that, what you saying, that when I write music, it's never to the point where I'm like cautious on certain things I say, because I know if I speak on a shooting or something, it's already been settled between the families and me, or if I speak on this incident, I know it's been settled between me and the court of law. And this just straight facts off my life. I've done did stuff behind the gun, motherfucker. I had to come to an agreement, throw a motherfucker some bread just so a motherfucker don't do this. And I've already signed something to the point to where it's like, you can't come back and arrest me for it. So I can speak on it or whatever. I'm not gonna do it, but like I can say whatever, or with the court of law, this, I can do this. But at the end of the day, me as who I am now, I'm not an active member. I'm not active with nothing I do. If I rap about it, it's strictly entertainment. You can't say that I'm out here putting 20 on this nigga and getting him killed. I'm not doing that. For what? For what? I'm trying to get up there with Drake and MJ at Mike Jackson. I'm trying to get on that level, man. Ain't nobody got time for that bullshit. Because a nigga diss me, I want to go kill him or do that. Man, no, bro. And I feel like that's where shit get fucked up at. Everybody want to smoke on him, do this, do that. Nigga, it's people dead that I never mention. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand that. It's certain things I never speak on, and I just don't understand how it get brought about in music. But at the same time, man, some people don't think how I think, and it's funny. Everybody was laughing and clown and chop because I somewhat went zen or spiritual or I got healthy, I eat right. But what I don't tell them is what the shit I was doing before then and how I had task force watching my house, police watching my fucking houses, police watching the house I be at over there in Fraser, or the police watching that, or also the niggas around that'll be snitching on you that got niggas fighting for their life as we speak and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? They don't know that side of it because at the end of the day, I'm not finna speak none of it in my raps. And but you can clown it. You can clown it. You can say, oh, he meditate, he's spiritual, he do this. Well, probably that's what motherfuckers need to do. You know what I'm saying? I just got balance within my life, and I feel like a lot of people should take heed. I used to have dreams of like the fears coming to get me. I used to have real dreams to it, and like I stepped away from all of that entity and all that environment. And I feel like I did it at the right time, because if you look now, it's over 30 rappers locked up right now. Over 30.
Well, what's actually worse than the 30 rappers that are locked up are all the rappers that have lost their lives.
Same.
A lot of which I've interviewed.
Or even shot. It can go. It goes from being shot, it goes to being shot and killed, and it goes to being in jail.
Yeah.
It's the cycle, bro. Nobody want to be a part of that, man.
Nah.
And niggas are clown me for being the smart one. They clown Chop for being the smart one and not want to be in that category. I don't want to be in that stereotype, bro.
Yeah, no, look, I had 2 interviews with FBG Duck, and in both interviews, I'm trying to convince him to move out of Chicago. And in both interviews, he's arguing with me and saying that I don't know what I'm talking about. And he gets killed in Chicago in the most high-end tourist area of Chicago, the Gold Coast. Mo 3. I'm telling him that he should probably move out of Dallas. And he's like, oh, no one's going to chase me down in Dallas. I don't need security. He got chased down and killed in Dallas. It's these, me and Pop Smoke talked a couple of days before he got killed about doing an interview. Me and G Money from Baton Rouge had an interview lined up, that never happened. It's the cycle of these young, black men with all this potential getting caught up in some emotional bullshit.
Emotions.
You know what I'm saying? And it's
energy in motion. That's what it is.
Yeah. So a lot of times it's other people's emotions.
Yeah.
It's over a girl. It's over being hypnotized with hatred.
Pussy all the time.
Yeah. Most times it's over a girl.
99.9% of the time.
I heard the Mo 3 thing was over a girl.
Yeah. Start with pussy every time.
The jealousy over money, the bragging, the all that, and it's heartbreaking, man. It's sad when I hear this shit.
And I'm gonna tell you why it's like the cycle don't end, because God give you this blessing to change. What the fuck? Man, if I'm in the hood and I'm hitting licks, I'm doing drills every day, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing all this and that. And I get the opportunity to change my life and change my family around me life. Why would I keep holding on to that vendetta just to hold on to a persona of, I'm a killer, I'm this, I'm that? I find it stupid. You get in this position to grow. People get in this position and stay the same. Why is you still doing the same? People don't understand. You probably not in the car shooting somebody. You probably not in the car robbing somebody, but you still got people doing it off the strength of you, or you paying somebody. It's still the same thing. That karma gonna come back the same way.
Or just the affiliation. Like you look at Casanova 2 times, and that shit was horrible because I'd interviewed him, some years before then. He just got caught up because his friends was, untouchable, Gorilla Stone, I think, Nation. And it's like, you see what happens with these RICO cases. What he did one little interview with Nick Cannon where he goes, oh, I'm still ape, but I don't do none of that shit, but I'm still ape. Your Honor, he says he's still a gang member. Now he's part of a RICO, and now he's forced to take a plea deal, and now we're waiting, to sentencing. Yeah. It's fucked up, and it's sad, and you don't do all this shit. Like you're making legit money now. You pay taxes. You know what I'm saying? Like, worst thing that'll happen is you might get audited. Yeah. That's the worst. Yeah. You're not gonna go to jail for the money you're making. You're not gonna. People aren't going to be retaliating against you or whatever else. But people want to have that 1 foot in, 1 foot out,
It ain't
You
gonna never
know,
work.
Boosie said you can't be a gangster and a rapper at the same time.
can't.
He's like, he's tried it and he ended up on death row.
Exactly.
And he was lucky enough to beat it because he had the money to beat it.
People gotta understand balance, man. Rap was always entertainment. It's entertainment. That's what it is. It's entertainment. You only use that platform to entertain and go home about your business and handle what's at home.
Yep.
There's two sides of life. Motherfuckers think it's entertainment and then they keep it in their real life too. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. You gotta have that balance to where you know what you're rapping about. You're rapping about this. You can rap about. I can rap about anything I want to because I've done it, did it, or will do. But I'm not rapping about nothing that I'm still doing at the moment. You know what I mean? It's just not right. You know what I'm saying? It's not even smart, man. I got a daughter, bro. I got a daughter and I'm trying to have a son. You know what I'm saying? I got my mama, I got my brother. You know what I'm saying? I got a sister.
Got your dad.
I got my pops. Bro, I got real responsibilities, bro. I got my grandma, my grandpa. Them folks would be heartbroken if something happened to me, man. And I feel like people be too selfish to realize that. Niggas gotta realize that and wake the fuck up. Like, I really got responsibilities. And, you know what I'm saying? And more so than that, we got the whole world looking at us in the process.
Yeah.
We got little kids, bro. These niggas, my fans literally start at 3 years old, bro.
Yeah, man, I got all types of interesting death threats from Memphis fans. Like, I mean, you were going at it. I'm like, all right. Like, it's not like I was taking them seriously because, you know, at the end of the day, I don't even live in Memphis. But it's like, it's interesting how people will, like, really potentially even throw their freedom out the window. You know, over, you know, like for example, like, you know, if I wanted to take one of these death threats and report it to the police, that person might end up in jail.
For sure will.
I'm not doing that.
That's a crime.
It's a crime. It's a terrorist threat.
Yeah.
You know, and you look at the person's page and they're sitting next to their car with their driver's license plate right there, like, you know, their Nissan Altima or whatever, like, talking about, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
When you come to Memphis, you're dead. Like, I'm like, motherfucker, look at you right here. Like, you're really stupid.
You can really do 10
You're really
years
fucking
off this
dumb
shit.
right now. Like, you lucky I'm not this type of person. And I don't want to see a young man end up fucking his life up over some emotional dumb shit. But people are really dumb like that.
That's why man, at the same time, you hear my music, I won't say all of my music reflect on who I am as a person as of right now. You might still hear some shoot 'em up, bang, bang. But I do like to give the option of when you see me as a person, you see what I talk about and what I stand for. So you can love my music, but I want people to love me for who I am more as a person. The same thing with Pac. Love his music. I can go, every song relate to it. Dear Mama, love my mama to death. So many tears, I've cried many times. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, who he was as a person, that's who I resonate with. I didn't bump pop music until I fucked with him as a person. You know what I'm saying? Because it just felt like it was me. So.
Well, you mentioned kids. Your girlfriend, Marissa, had a miscarriage. You were supposed to have a son.
Yeah, he was supposed to come June 10th. He's supposed to be a Gemini.
Did it hurt you when it happened?
It hurt me hard. It hurt me real hard. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, like I can't. Now that I know what life is, I can't dwell. I never been in a space too long. I cried a day, and the next day I'm like, all right, we gotta keep pushing, find a way to find something else. You know what I'm saying? Do something different. Find how we can improve it next go around. You know what I'm saying? Is
this the girl that you're with right now?
Currently.
Okay. Is this the one that you went on Instagram and said that the first day I met you?
Yeah. I did. Oh, facts. Hey, let me clear that up to the people, man.
Go ahead.
My nigga.
Tell everyone what you said.
I said nutted in you on the first time that I met you. So what happened was I was celibate for 2 months. I was celibate. So I didn't want to see her in person because I knew I was gonna fuck.
That was just the nut that just
man.
filled up the whole bathtub.
See, look, I was celibate 2 months, and I used to have her on FaceTime. We was on FaceTime 2 months, so I used to always tell her, I used to be like, I can't see you right now. I'm celibate. I'm working on something. I'm working on a goal. Boom. And when I finally saw her in Atlanta, You know what I'm saying? We had already built a relationship through communication, which was the best thing I could have did. If I would have fucked her the first day I ever met her, came in contact with her for real, without no talking, we probably wouldn't have been where we at now. And she's like the best person I've ever been with, you know what I'm saying, woman-wise, you know what I'm saying? She's a real stand-up lady. So I'm glad I did what I did, talked to her for 2 months. That's why celibacy is so important, you know what I'm saying? I got to know who she was as a person instead of knowing who her pussy was before I got to know what her brain was about. So picked her brain 2 months straight. I was like, I really fuck with her. First time I met her, nutted in her, she was pregnant.
Oh, and that was the miscarriage.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, but listen, I'm not gonna say that I have been the most responsible human being, man, over the course of the years. There's been lots of no condom situations. There's been, there's been the pregnancy scares. There's been some plan Bs along the way and so forth.
Nigga, I thought I had 2 babies on the way at 14.
Oof. Okay.
14.
Want to hear an interesting little side
Lost
note?
my virginity at 8.
Okay. Let me tell you a little side note of a story. I interviewed Gary Payton.
Yeah.
Right? The basketball player.
Okay.
He had 2 sons, 5 months apart. Mm-hmm. Both of them named Gary. Mm-hmm. So his son, Gary Payton II, plays for, the Warriors.
Yep.
Just won the finals. He has another son named Gary Jr. So he was like with his girl and he got his other girl pregnant. Mm-hmm. And then they both had sons and he named them both the same thing.
Yeah. When I was dating my Gary II's mom, who I met in high school. And then when I got the NBA, I had a relationship with another lady. Uh-huh. So happened they both had the kids in the same year. So it was like they both wanted to name him Gary. So I said, okay, cool. You could name one Gary Jr. and one Gary II. So it was one of them things where it worked out for me. I'm happy for that. I got 2 sons named after me. We can keep my name going on. So that's all I was talking about. Just keep my name going on.
Motherfuckers really wild out sometimes. But look, what I was gonna say is listen, I haven't been the most responsible person myself. I get it, right? Shit happens, you get lost in the moment and everything else like that. But you have 1 child already with someone who you were not married to, and you went through a degree of drama of 2 young people, 2 teenagers having a kid when you guys really were not ready for it, just to be honest. You see what I'm saying? I don't know what y'all's relationship is, but 2 teenagers having a child usually means that people, neither one is ready for it. They just got caught up in the moment. Now, here you are with 1 child. You're 19 now or 20? 19.
20 this year.
20 this year. Do you feel like, okay, look, I can't just be nutting in everybody. You know what I mean? Do you feel like you need to really switch up the way you do things? Because at the end of the day, it's funny to laugh about Nick Cannon's situation and all his kids. He's got 9 kids with 6, 7 different women. They're all born right around the same time. Yeah, it's cool, whatever. But that's a very stressful situation for him, I'm sure. Trying to juggle all these different children, these different baby mothers, the relationships. And you're not going to get to spend the time. Like you talking about how because of the drama you went through, you missed a whole year. You know what I'm saying? When you're not really married to someone or in a very serious relationship with someone, you're not going to really get to be the father that you could be to that child.
See, but what a lot of people don't understand though is us males are meant to produce. That's what sex is for. Sex isn't for pleasure. Sex is generally to have a baby, and that's it. That's what God designed it for it to be. You know what I'm saying? Us, gorillas, and dolphins, we the only mammals that have sex for pleasure. So with that being said,
I never knew that. That's actually an interesting group of animals right there.
Yeah.
Humans, gorillas, and dolphins.
Yeah.
They all get buck wild.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we really here to produce. So it never was a point in my life to where I didn't want to have kids. I just always wanted to be able to financially support them. So when I was 14 and I thought I had 2 babies on the way, I was telling both of the girls, I'm like, yo, we need to abort. I don't know how I'm a support this baby, and kind of find out both of them wasn't mine. You know what I'm saying? They was not
Wait,
mine.
they both had kids? They both weren't
Bro,
yours?
they both wasn't mine. It was crazy. I don't know how. One of them looked just like me, and I'm like, yo, that's mine. And it wasn't mine. You know what I mean? But now that I can support, I can raise a village. I know what I want. I know that I want a lot of women to be able to help raise what I got going on. I wanna do things how my ancestors did it. They had 10 to 15 kids and like 3 to 4 wives to help them with everything.
Okay.
So like,
so that's what you want.
Yeah, that's what I want.
So you want to have 10 to 15 kids.
I want to have like 10 kids for sure.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well, listen, if you're coming in with your eyes open, then all good.
Yeah, for sure. You just
all good.
you gotta know what you want out of it. You know what I mean? If you just doing it to doing it, I'm pretty sure Nick got a purpose with every nut he busts, because there's no way he's just slipping up doing it. I don't think, you know what I'm saying? I think it's a purpose behind it. We'll probably know later on in the future.
Well, or maybe it just feels better when you don't pull out. You know, you can create a whole storyline around it, but as someone that has sex thousands of times, I can tell you that it feels better not to pull out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. Roddy Ricch did an interview, and he named the best rappers under 25. He named himself, NBA YoungBoy, and Kodak Black.
Yeah.
And you felt some type of way about that.
Didn't feel some type of way because of what he said. Felt some type of way because in the comments, everybody was mentioning like, oh, how you ain't put this person in here and such and such. I didn't see too many comments about me though. I mean, the reason why I feel that way is because when you're speaking of the youngest to do it, I'm the youngest to do it. There's nobody at my age currently right now that got the same amount of plaques as me, streams as me. Nobody. You know what I'm saying? It's nobody. Only person close to it is the kid Laro. And I think he's 19.
Leroy?
I think that's how you say it.
Kid Leroy, yeah.
Kid Leroy. And still with that, like my numbers. But he don't drop a lot. I feel like if he dropped a lot more, he'll be on my ass too as the youngest to do it. But like,
he's 18.
Yeah,
my man Lil Bibby actually signed him.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah,
and he's super talented. He's from Australia actually, but he's more of a singer. He's not a rapper.
But he hip hop. He go on to hip hop.
I guess.
But
I guess
like,
you could say that, yeah.
But reason why I said made those claims, you know what I'm saying? 16, I was 16. You just did the whole dialogue. I was 16. I was already in that year when I was blowing up. I already ended the year with like 5 plaques. Currently sitting on 15 to 16 gold and platinum plaques. Got over 5 billion, going on 6 billion streams worldwide. Not million, billions. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you're in the billions of streams.
I just feel like
absolutely.
I just feel like people don't really get them flowers like I supposed to. I guess it's a lot more I gotta do, but I know it's not gonna happen. But if my career was to end right now, I've already did more than a lot of rappers that's hot right now. That's just now getting hot. I did what they've done in 2 years, 3 years. You know what I mean? So I just feel like it gotta be some type of respect on that.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that might make you feel a little better about this whole thing. We just have an interview that we're running right now with Shaggy, the reggae artist, and Shaggy is the biggest living reggae artist to have sold diamond. Right? His song "It Wasn't Me" went diamond. Album I think went diamond and so forth. And he won a Grammy when he first came out, and then for the next like 15 years he didn't win any more Grammys.
Yeah.
Right? And he was talking to his grandmother about how annoyed he felt, like he's going to the Grammys and he's not winning or whatever else. His grandmother said, when you do your job, do it for the reward and not for the award.
I mean, it was great. I kind of took it for granted because I kind of knew I was going to win when I was nominated. I was like, I was the shit. I'm the hottest around at that time. And I won, and it just was like, okay, I won a Grammy. There's 10 more of those. And then I didn't get one for years afterwards. I was nominated like 5 times after that. I just went there every year and just didn't win. And until recently when we did 44876 with Sting.
Right.
And, finally we won again. I was like, and it's always hard when you're at these, award shows and hoping that you're going to win and then you go home without winning. It's like, fuck. We just did that recently with Spice and, we're really pumped up. We had a big year with her. Go Down There is still one of the biggest songs. And, Soldier won. Just out of nowhere. So it was just like, oh my God. So, it's always tough. But, my grandmother always says, you do things for the reward, not the award. Because you can spend the reward. The award just collect dust.
That's deep. On me.
You're being rewarded for what you do. You're not just sitting here doing music and 100 people listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
Your streams are crazy.
Yeah.
And like how you and I talked on the phone before this happened, you were on tour in a sold out tour in Europe.
Yeah,
you were in Turkey, I think, when you and I were talking. At the end of the day, you're being rewarded for everything that you do. You recording music, and I haven't seen really any songs under 1 million views. You're on tour, you're selling out Turkey, you're selling out places where a lot of Memphis artists just could not sell out. I mean, unless you're talking like a 3 6 Mafia or so forth. It's just like, you're being rewarded for what you do. Now, the awards are kind of funny. Awards is almost like people vote for people they like, they vote for their friends. It's like Vlad TV doesn't even get nominated for nothing. And we're the biggest hip hop YouTube channel in the world. We outnumber everybody, but when the BET Awards, when the hip hop awards come, we're not even listed. But that's okay, because we're rewarded for what we do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 70 million people a month tune in, 70 to 80 million people tune in and watch our YouTube channel.
It's crazy.
We have over 5 million subscribers on our YouTube channel. You actually have more than us. Congrats. In a shorter period of time, which shows, once again, how you're being rewarded for what you do. But the awards, they may take a long time to come. They may never come. They may come after you die. You know what I mean? Like some of the great artists in the world, like Van Gogh, were broke their whole lives. And suddenly, after they die and become discovered, they're in all the museums and their works sell for hundreds of millions of dollars. But he never got to experience that. So you can't really get mad at that. But you're being paid.
You're right.
You're being paid nicely. Your fans fuck with you. But you might not get the not the plaques, but the trophies.
100% correct. For sure.
So,
But it's in due time, you know what I mean? You just got to keep going. Keep doing what you're doing.
If Roddy Ricch don't mention you as the top 3 rappers, that's like an award. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's just his opinion. And it's not like he's picking a bunch of other whack rappers. You know what I'm saying? Like he's picking top-notch dudes.
Yeah.
And he's putting himself in that list too. So now you lose a slot because of himself. Right? So I wouldn't let shit like that really affect you in any type of way. You're popping.
Yeah.
And you're 19 years old. You're popping as a teenager.
For sure.
What you pulled off is exceptional. And when you and I first talked, that's how I actually started off the conversation with you. It wasn't like, yo, what was up with that shit that you said or whatever. It's like, all right, man, look, we're going to talk it out and I'm going to give you your props from the jump. And then you did the same thing with me.
Yeah. I got to.
Yeah. And ultimately, man, that's what it's really about. The awards and shit, they may or may not come. But you can't work around that shit.
For sure.
And speaking of Europe, you just dropped like a random UK,
in the UK,
video. It's called In the UK, which is at like millions of views already.
Yeah, about 6, almost at 6, in like 12 days. It's doing exceptionally well.
Yeah. So what's next for you?
Man, currently I'm out here. I wrote 40 songs while I was in Europe, so I'm currently trying to record all 40 of those, then mix down the album and try to get a date to release it. I'm currently shooting a video out here. Supposed to be shooting a video like on the 27th. So like, you know what I'm saying? So just keep on, just staying busy, keep working. Beautiful time to be in right now. I feel like this is my most successful year by far. A lot of things been successful. I sold out a tour in America, sold out a tour in Europe, released an album at the top of the year. It's almost gold. I can't complain. I'm just in this we halfway through it. I know I'm closing it strong, like Usain Bolt. So,
Do you have a name for the new album?
I haven't came up with it yet, but I'm gonna know When it's time, I'm gonna know. And when it hit, I think I know what I want to name it, but I want to keep it on the low.
Yeah, and I think that like what I really realized, because I had heard a couple songs beforehand, but in the process of really preparing for this interview, I started to really plow through all the albums, all the projects, everything else like that. And the thing that I think maybe a lot of people who aren't like serious fans of you don't realize is that you're actually a lyricist. You actually rap.
Yeah.
You write.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't get the impression that you just go in the booth and just mumble some shit and, you know, punch in and punch out, then go on to the next song. I feel like you write your choruses, you're rapping, you're double timing shit, you're fitting in a lot of words.
Put a lot into it.
You know, you're harmonizing, you know, during certain songs. It's not just, you know, a lot of times you see rappers that are hot because they have a style that's just new and different. Not so much a substance thing, but it's like, oh, this is like a new style. Yeah. It's a new sound. Mm-hmm. But that's not really you. I feel like you're more of a traditional, serious rapper.
I'm an MC.
You're an MC.
Artist.
There you go. And that's what I learned in terms of preparing for this conversation.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. You know, me being an OG hip-hop head, I was born the year hip-hop was invented.
For real?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, 73.
So,
I was.
So what's that, Curtis Blow or?
I was before that.
Or
I mean, 73. That was just the house parties. Cool Herc.
Oh.
You know what I mean? There was no recorded hip hop back then. I mean, I was born. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like when breakdancing became a thing, that's when I really started to embrace it.
No, that's hip hop really started in Jamaica.
Well, it was based on Jamaican music because Cool Herc is Jamaican.
Yeah.
So he took that dance hall style of lots of speakers.
Yep.
You know, DJs in Jamaica are the MCs, right? The dudes that are talking on the mic are called the DJs. You know, like Beanie Man considers themselves a DJ, not an MC. And yeah, Cool Herc, who is Jamaican from Jamaica, took that style and brought it to America, but instead of playing reggae songs, he was playing American songs, playing disco and, you know what I mean, funk. And that turned into hip-hop 49 years later, almost 50 years later, man. That's how you earn your living. That's how I earn my living. That's how people
changed
in this
a lot
room
of people's lives.
Changed a lot of people's lives, man. That's where we're going to end it. NLE Choppa, man. Appreciate you coming in.
Man, thank you for having me.
Let's do this again.
Much
Peace.
Love. Thank you. Peace.